Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet and of YouTube. Welcome to Campaign 2 of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno. I am your host and game master, Skajarmas, otherwise known as Tone Shift, and with me today, we have a full cast of 5 players. I'm just going to go down the list right now. Looks like we're missing one. Ari, you need to get into the Roll20 when you get the moment. But starting at the top, we have Tom117Z playing Rosa, our female Elvon Mithra watcher.
That sounds so strange to hear. Goodbye, knee.
Yeah, right? We have Mystic playing Aeon, our male Moogle time mage.
Hello.
We have Hades Shadow 92 playing Cassandra, our female human dragoon.
Hello.
We have Darkness playing Kunara, our female Lupin warrior.
Greetings, one and all.
My eardrums have been bursted. Thank you for that.
Sort your volume levels.
And last but certainly not least, we have Ari playing Kayana, our female Tarufel engineer.
Hello.
So, yeah, we don't have a last time like we did with Campaign 1 because this is the first session.
I mean, technically we do have a last time, it just lasts 3 years.
There's like 180 something episodes you can go watch on YouTube if you want to get through the entire previous campaign.
Currently, as of recording this, 175. As of ending this, probably in the 180s, maybe 190. Yeah.
Probably, but regardless, let's go ahead and just jump right in, shall we? There is one little point of order I want to get to before that, actually. Namely, while this is a sequel to Campaign 1, I'm trying to structure the narrative in such a way that you don't need to have listened to or watched Campaign 1 to understand what's going on in this story. I will provide context where needed. It's a standalone narrative, and any important bits it builds upon will be expounded on so that you're not totally in the dark. It's otherwise a largely standalone story. Second point of order. Mystic and Ari are both new, relatively speaking, to the system, and this is their first time in a long-winded campaign like this. And they haven't necessarily listened to / watched all of Campaign 1, so a lot of time might be spent trying to get them up to speed as they're getting intimate with the systems. So bear that in mind. I'll be doing my best to make sure their experience is smooth and pleasant. But with all of that in mind, let's jump right in, shall we? So, many years ago, the world was shaken by an event known as the Amber Tide. From deep within the soul of the world of Eno, the god of darkness Diabolos managed to wrest control of the mythical Tower of Creation, the seat of power of the gods of Eld. With the tower in his possession, Diabolos would be reborn into the world and use the tower's nearly infinite power to eradicate all life on Eno, paving the way for a new world, his world, Pandemonium. All across Eno, the infestation of evil crystals known as demi-amber glowed as fire, and vile demons rose from muck and mud, ash, blood, and bone. The sky turned black as tar, splattered with the distant glow of amber stars. Chaos reigned across the world. Cities were devastated, families torn apart, and few were the resistances that could stand long against such an impossible force. For many, it seemed as if the end of the world had come, and they were powerless to do aught but watch the world burn to ashes around them. But in spite of the chaos and destruction, mankind would not surrender, and Diabolos would not go unopposed. From various walks of life, various men and women, the warriors of light and darkness came together. Infused with the power of the legendary crystals and backed by the military might of all of the First Continent Thenora, the Warriors of Light ventured into the Tower of Creation within the heart of Diabolos' territory, the Amber Eternal. There they struck down Diabolos' servant Murasan, and at long last laid the god of darkness low, and in the so doing, rescued a goddess long thought dead, whose essence had been trapped within his malevolent breast. Phoenix was freed. With the death of Diabolos, Phoenix used the last dregs of her power to breathe new life into the world before she, too, joined her misguided brother in the throes of eternal slumber. As the land slowly began to heal, and the people of Eno rebuilt their lives, the remaining gods withdrew into a slumber of their own, their power all but spent in the struggle to hold Diabolos' hordes at bay. That was 100 years ago. Though Eno still bears the scars of the Amber Tide, her people have risen above the ashes of tragedy and pressed on into a new age. But they never forgot the sacrifices and struggles of the heroes who came before them. And so it is that our story begins on the waves. In the northern oceans between the many islands of Mikotai, a civilian passenger ship powers through the water for the storied city of Murasu, where disparate wandering souls shall come together for the beginning of this, our next chronicle. We pull through the clouds and through the haze of the sea, onto the deck of the ship known as the Callaway, where a woman stands, gazing out over the waves, her ever-faithful companion at her side. Hades, Mystic, if you would like to describe your characters, please.
Right. And let me just actually grab something so I'm done. Cassandra, Dragoon of Garlat, and a young adventurer who has a knack for getting herself in trouble.
As a reminder, I'm looking for physical descriptions right now.
Oh, right. Sorry.
It's all good.
Sorry. I gotta do it, sorry. A woman about, I'd say, I thought I had her on the
mid-20s.
I was looking more for height than anything, but I don't know if I ever wrote that down.
You did not.
Okay, fair enough. So, of medium height, not too terribly tall, wearing a combination of very normally relatively traditional Dragoon armor, the spikes and everything, black and purple with a blue undershirt. Her hair done in a braid, moving down over her breastplate. A rather torn up scarf around her neck. Eyes purple, looking out into the ocean with wonder. And a spear, long, black, with few purple gems and whatnot embedded, with yet another piece of brown cloth tied to the edge of the blade. This is Cassandra Shadowgrasp.
And next to Cassandra, Mystic,
And
your character.
Fun.
Aeon is a Moogle with strange purple markings around his head and body and back. He doesn't have much to him. He's just a regular Moogle with just these mysterious markings around him that he doesn't know how he got.
All right.
Done.
And you're on the waves as you're approaching the city of Murasu. It is visible not far away. You reckon you'll be there within the next hour at the latest. You can still smell the briny scent of salt water wafting over your faces. Occasionally, little particulates of the sea splash up into your faces as the boat thunders along, powered by Magitech engines that thrum beneath the waves. There's moderate activity on the top of the deck as people mill about, largely workers maintaining the ship, but also a small, dense crowd of individuals coming to the city as tourists, much like yourselves, in preparation for the coming festival that is to happen there starting today. Have you anything you two wish to discuss at present?
Almost there, Aeon.
I'm so excited, Kupo! Your festival, Kupo, Sandra!
Just try not to eat all of the cotton candy, alright?
Can I have lollipops, Cassandra, Kupo?
As soon as we touch down.
And ice cream, Kupo!
Either one. You can't have both or you'll spoil your dinner.
Kupo. Fine, Sandra, Kupo.
So after dinner, we'll get double sundaes. How about that?
Kupo!
The serotonin. It's too much.
Hey.
I'm literally on the floor, thank you.
And,
I think my heart skipped a beat.
A few.
and with that lovely bit of cuteness to give you all diabetes.
Serotonin.
We
It
will-
binds them. They are too many.
Take it away, almighty DM.
All right. Okay, so with those two having their friendly little chat, our camera pulls away from them and to the other side of the deck, where darkness, if you could describe your character, please.
Okay. Kunara Fangblade is a Lupin warrior. She wears full dark silver armor, covering most of her body, and also wears a black cloak that has a blue inside, as the night has a nightish blue, with also wielding a huge sword composed of silver and dark silver, with what noticeably on the hilt of it kind of resembles a fang of such. And she's about 8 foot tall
And
in her 30s.
And just for clarification for the audience, because this is the first time a Lupin has appeared in this game,
Go ahead.
they are tall.
The wolf people.
They're wolf people. Yeah, pretty much. They're tall, well-built, slightly hunched, but they are wolf people. This is a full-on wolf woman.
Mm-hmm.
And just to cover
If,
the
of course,
details you
that makes
missed,
to go with it.
just to cover the details you missed, largely black fur, sort of a with the chin and the chest floof being more white, and very striking blue eyes.
Mm. I was going to get into that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Which are like sapphire blue, I guess.
So, Kunara, you have been getting strange looks ever since you came to these stranger lands, and standing once more upon a vessel whose engines thrum beneath your feet with this unnatural vibration, you just feel antsy in your skin and uncomfortable under your armor. The wind rushing past you is persistent and constant, unlike the usual ebb and flow and the give and take of your homeland, and you just don't feel right. You're visibly restless, and you keep getting little looks and confused glances sent your direction. And you stand out like a sore thumb. In all your time, you have yet to meet another Lupin. You are an oddity in these lands, and it shows. A couple of people kind of wander by you. One of them looks up, raises an eyebrow. What in the...
He just glares and pretty much then turns the other way.
They keep walking after a second, realizing you are not going to give them context.
And pretty much just sits by the nearest window, just staring out at the ocean. That
Yeah.
gives a bit of calmness.
Yeah, you're on the top deck right now, so not a window. You're like leaning on the rail.
That's better.
Hence all the mentionings of wind.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, down below decks, in the hold of the ship, where the engines are thrumming and actively pumping energy round and about, powered by nethicite shards, repurposed from purified and now empty Daemon Amber shards, we see a Tarufel woman knelt by one of the main capacitors, wrench in hand. And Ari, if you could describe your character for us, please.
All right. My character, her name is Kayana, but Kai for sure. She is obviously a Tarufel, but she has brown hair, green eyes, and has her engineer suit with a revolver that almost looks like a shotgun in her hand.
As of right now, said weapon would be strapped to your hip, but yes.
Yes. Jesus. And yeah, she's being her, just, always busy, just keeping an eye on everything. And
So-
making sure everything's working very nicely.
Yep. So if you could do me a favor, Ari, and roll me a systems check.
Okay. Okay.
First roll the captain.
First roll.
No pressure.
None
But this
whatsoever.
will decide your luck for the rest of the campaign.
Tom.
I have too many tabs, Jesus Christ.
All the time.
All the tabs.
I have 4. I have 1 for the rule book, 1 for the music room, I have 1 for the calendar, 1 for the game, and I have a whole separate browser open for the game in player mode so that the audience can't see my dungeon master magic.
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 I'm trying to find the freaking systems.
We're sorry for the ear bleed. I'm just trying to get to a good distance with the microphone.
I mean, the DM can control your volume on his end. Discord.
Yeah, your systems is at 4, Ari.
Thank you.
So it'll be 2d6 plus 4.
Let's hope the dice like me today.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. We shall see.
Okay. Okay.
The dice can tell.
Oh my
Oh.
god!
Oh, damn!
Oh.
Double what you needed. Okay.
At least it doesn't hate me this time.
Yeah, at least for that roll. All right. Starting strong. So, you've been down here in the hold, working your proverbial tail off for the last several days as you've sailed across the northern seas, maintaining your end of the bargain with the Callaway's captain, performing maintenance on the engines and making sure everything is running smoothly, and you have been doing a damn fine job, if you do say so yourself. You find a few little points along one of the turbines that are a little out of alignment. You push them back in with a few expert turns of your wrench. You find somewhere else that's not quite held in place. You pull out a little hammer and a nail and rivet it back into place. Bit of a makeshift job that'll need to be more properly tended to on dock, but it should hold for the remaining few hours. You find a steam leak and you patch it over with a small metal strip and some glue. It's all very basic maintenance work, but it's more than enough to keep the ship going. You're covered in a bit of grease, a few spots of oil, your apron is stained to shit and back, and you are sweaty from the hot interior of the ship's engine room, but you're confident in your work. As you pull
Nice.
back from your latest project and sort of wipe a hand over your brow to dispel some sweat, a nearby door pops open, and you see the ship's captain, a tall Gulka man, lumbering in, just as that. It's Guyana.
sir?
Been doing good work down here, I see.
Mm-hmm. Nothing challenging for me.
Glad to hear it. We're about to reach the city in the next hour or so, and I think you've been working hard enough, so why don't you take the rest of the trip, go top decks and relax a bit. Enjoy the fresh air while you still have the chance, eh?
Okay. That'll be fine with me. You don't need any more help? Anything?
I think we'll manage. We're less than an hour out from the city. It's visible on the distance. If there's any other problems, we can get those handled once we're in port. You've done fine work. Don't want you to completely miss out on enjoying the trip. Go on, enjoy the view. You're going to a festival.
Oh, thank you. Been a long time since I've been to one.
Yeah, well, just expect a lot of crowds. Marasu has a reputation.
That's so I've heard.
You know, my great-grandson used to live there. Used to work there. Baker, he was. Make it a
Great grandfather.
I make it a habit to come. I make it a habit every time the festival comes in to bring people over. Just to see where he was from again. But I shouldn't be waxing sentimental to you. Go on.
Whatever you say.
I get what you did there.
Baker.
Figured you
I
would.
see what
Baker man.
So you gather up your remaining tools and you head up to the top deck, and it is a staggering sort of blast of air when you come back up. This chill wind from the wind chill that is just, it momentarily like stuns you as you come up from the hot, stifling interior of the engine room and out into the strongly blowing winds of the top deck. Just kind of involuntarily inhale for a second. You smell the briny ocean waves filling your lungs and your nostrils. And you let it out a second later and just feel some of that tension leaving. You look ahead past the front of the ship, the prow, I think it's called. Bow, prow, I don't know.
Either.
Yeah, you got it this.
You look past the bow of the ship, and up ahead, looming larger in the horizon, drawing steadily nearer, you can see the shape of the Isle of Marasu. And you can see there, on the shore, next to a very large inlet, the city of Marasu, visible in the distance. I would like you to make an awareness check as well, please.
Okay.
Did it be good?
Same with you, Aeon. Roll an awareness check for me.
Okay.
I just forgot another detail that Kunara has, I guess. The tail is a black and white tail.
I mean, you're a wolf person, that's to be assumed, but yeah.
Must forget that. That's full of characters.
Plenty of things for Aeon to tug on later.
Oh, good.
So, you just remind me again. What is it? It's
Awareness.
Roll. No,
Slash-
the command.
No,
Or
slash roll.
2d6.
Slash R 2d6 plus whatever number is next to your awareness.
Got it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Well, Tom, if you ever get that moment, you are a bold one.
Ooh, okay.
All right,
That's
a 9 from Kayana.
And from our
Let me get
Moogle.
freaking comfortable.
Be
And,
good.
I have
And then
open.
11.
And an 11 from the Moogle. So, Kayana and Aeon, as Kayana is coming up onto the deck and just kind of looking around, your eyes are drawn inexorably towards the 8-foot-tall wolf woman off to your left. Just sort of leaning against one of the railings of the ship, looking out over the waves, and there's a noticeably wide berth of people kind of scuttling around them out of anxiety. You're not... And as for Aeon, as you're still sort of waiting for the ship to make landfall and get into the port, you just kind of slowly rotate in place from your position in the air until eventually you also spot the Lupin woman as a few people walk by, providing you an unobstructed view of the back of her cloak and head.
Whatever you want to do, on go for it.
Sandra, puppy, come on! He just goes up to the wolf woman.
Kunara's ears just twitched in the direction.
All right, time to get the certain pieces going.
I feel bad.
Hmm.
All right. So Kunara, you hear a high-pitched, adorable voice loudly squealing, "Sandra, puppy, kupo!" from behind you.
I'm literally crying.
You remember how responsible wise Chira was?
Yeah, this is not. This is not.
This is
true.
the opposite.
This is the complete opposite.
Yeah, definitely opposite.
All right, so what are you doing, guys?
Well, Kunara's definitely now just having full attention and just staring for a while, trying to process what she just encountered.
So, wait. So did Aeon just like dash over to her?
Yep.
We dashed over to her, and then I was gonna see what Darkness character did before I continued. I didn't know what he did.
It seems as if the wolf woman is currently just staring at you, baffled.
His puppy is so cute! And she starts like touching the snout.
Oh no. Yeah, Kai would most
Might
We're
look
gonna
like
get
a
some
puppy
PV.
to
not
you.
how loud that was.
We're about to get some PvP in session 1.
Oh no! Oh no!
So,
Yeah,
so-
I think Kai was just jumped as soon as she heard that. Like the sound of a freaking high-pitched being just saying "puppy," and like she jumped. Like,
Yeah, you
what
jump.
the hell?
yeah, you jump in surprise, and then you see this Moogle go "Nyeom" across the deck up to the wolf woman you just saw.
And how does the wolf respond?
Kunara, I'm pretty sure Kunara just said, "Do I look like a puppy to you?"
While also like just holding a bit at bay with one of her claws, I guess.
It's like
Or armor.
you reached for your sword.
No, basically she's just like holding. We'll go back just her claw. Just before the poop happened.
Aww.
Just like lifted a single finger and just push.
Yep.
Like, no.
You're
Okay.
a strong pupper. You're a big one too. I never seen a dog this size before. Good pup.
Yeah, one of her ears just twitched at that.
Okay, so yeah, you guys take it away. The scene's yours now.
So can Cassandra just like rush over and just grab Aeon?
Well, before that,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Honey, what are you gonna do?
okay. Let me get your little misconception straight. I am not a puppy. I'm not a dog. I am a lupin. A wolf would have been a more closer analogy of what you just called me.
Oh. You're a wolf. You're a big wolf, Koopa. I'm sorry, Koopa.
Yes, we roll with that. Look, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm just waiting for this voyage to end and get somewhere peaceful.
But company is always good, Koopa. You want to be friends, Koopa? I have lollipops, Koopa.
I pass. Besides, company's not really my forte.
I don't want the lollipop, Koopa.
Oh my god!
Mm.
Let me just go on the floor now. I'm done.
Is that about
I
this
quit.
time? I guess the Cassandra would make it.
I just freaking just like, Aeon, you can't just run up to just freaking grabs him, holds him against her chest. It's like,
Hi, Sandra, Koopa.
Heartbreaking sound I ever heard.
I'm
This is
on
the
the
greatest
floor.
challenge I have ever received in my life.
oh my god. No,
Yep, I'm on
you're
the
just
floor.
like,
I'm done.
it's just, she's just like, Miss, I'm very sorry. He doesn't always think before he talks.
I did think. I offered her a lollipop, Koopa.
I can see what you mean.
Yee.
He means well. He's just excitable, is all. She says while patting him on the head.
Yee.
I'm about to fall. I'm dying.
Koopa, Koopa.
So
You're
speak-
just lucky he doesn't seem to appear to be a threat to me, so I let it slide.
So, speaking of dying, how is Kayana responding to all this? Because you're witnessing all of this unfold. Are you just observing from a distance?
Give me a minute, I need water.
Honey, you're killing people, and we're not even like an hour in.
I hope that's the non-alcohol water
This
you're
was
talking
everything
about.
I wanted it to be.
I didn't
Listen.
think me saying the sad, like, no, I want a lollipop thing was gonna break everybody.
Your voice is perfect.
Okay, not gonna lie, I do need water, but I'm gonna give this tip because one, I like cute things. I can't resist. I have to resist because I'm about to hug the damn thing.
And out of character,
Oh my god.
Okay, let me take a deep breath. Shit.
Welcome to
and
Final
back in
Fantasy,
character.
Chronicles
You
of
want a
Eno.
lollipop, Koopa?
Yeah, I think Kai is definitely walking over, and I don't know if I have an idea, but I think that I want Darkness's permission, but I'm just gonna say I think like even though she's small, I think that Kunara's tail is covering her fully, and then she's like, "Hey, I'm right here. Can you move your tail?"
Well, I imagine her tail's under the cloak, so that would be a bit of a hard feat.
Oh,
I don't think it's
tail
stretched
and
that far.
Okay.
It's mostly
Yay.
covered up.
The cute mental image, but doesn't really work, unfortunately.
Mm.
Maybe the sudden Moogle will just push the cape in front of her.
Oh no.
And she's just Kai is I think that would work.
Just like takes the cloak and just hides from the cute.
And then Kai's just like, "Hey, can you move your cloak real quick?"
What are you doing there?
How about the sudden movement that got in my way?
You got in mine. I was here first.
Oh wow, such sarcasm. Anyway, I thought I'd come by just to check on you guys.
Hi, my name's Aeon Koopa. What's your name?
Kayana.
Kai Koopa?
You can call me Kai for short.
Kai! Yee!
Oh my god, I'm dying.
All she has to say is "yee." Everybody just dies.
I imagine that was in character.
Yeah, inside she's like, I'm dying.
I'm about to have a heart attack. It's too much.
Miss Wolf, what's your name, Koopa? I didn't get to ask your name.
I'm not sure we will know each other that long to know names, although I am curious with a question. What are you exactly? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm a Moogle Koopa.
I'm out.
Mogul.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You've never seen a Moogle before?
Of all my travels, no.
You know, on the subject of species, what are you? Because, man, I say, you look freaking awesome.
He's a wolf Koopa.
Oh yeah, I can
Lupin.
see that, but it's walking on
But-
2 legs.
Better than... It's a lupin, although I suppose wolf is better than puppy or dog.
Koopa.
I'm about to die.
But I suppose if you are giving introductions, my name is Kunara Fangblade.
Koopa.
Oh.
Close
Kuna.
enough.
You have been given your designation. Do not resist.
Kuna. Kupa.
I have to resist. I have to do it. I have to
Yeah.
resist my freaking temptation to hug the damn thing.
This is Kai, and that's Kuna. Sandra, I got the names right, Kupa.
You
No,
should
but sure. We go with that.
just
Yeah,
go
well-
with it. Long syllable names are a little above him.
That explains it.
And besides, I suppose you are all young, so I give you that.
Kupa.
Yeah.
For me, I feel,
Hmm.
especially being in that freaking engine.
And you, Aya, was it?
Huh?
Basically asking your name.
Kayana. Call me Kai.
Kayana. So, are you like friends or family to them?
I don't know them.
Oh. Then,
I just
Okay.
came from the engine room.
You work at the engine, Kupa?
Yes.
Yee, that's a lot of hard work, Kupa.
Eh, nothing but nothing I can't challenge.
Sandra, you need to work in the engine room.
I don't know. I don't know a thing about machines.
Did you just call it the engine room?
These big words. Aeon cannot speak big words. So if my pronunciation messes up, don't judge me.
Talking in this voice is going to mess up my English. I already know it.
Hey, I'm not complaining. Engine room is in character.
well, for one to manage such a contraption, you must be a very responsible child.
Oh no! Oh no!
Excuse me, what did you call me?
I mean, you are a child, aren't you?
I'm a Tarufel adult!
Okay,
They will be broke.
Well, forgive me, I have never met a Tarfel either.
Okay, I will point out really quickly that given the route you would have taken to come here, Kunara, you probably would have met a few. At least a few.
To be fair, she probably thought they were kids too. We just never addressed it.
I mean, if she doesn't.
I mean,
know
she
the
is mostly
race.
silent. This is like the most she's ever spoken for goodness knows how long time.
Fair enough.
That's fair.
She usually doesn't talk to many that this
Never
often.
call Kai a child.
No,
I just imagine her walking
No.
through Eno going, child labour laws, sir.
no.
Oh
my god.
They let 5-year-olds handle their government? What is wrong with these people?
Oh my
You let a
god.
5-year-old run a boat engine? What the fuck?
See some Tara found the military. Child soldiers. No.
Oh my god.
I cannot
No.
kill the babies.
No, just like, I was just no, that's about the right size for Tarfel.
Aeon just wiggles out of Cassandra's hands, just goes up to Kai.
Look, we're the same size, Kupa.
Aeon's about a foot shorter.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So around the same size.
If I float, it'll be the same size.
Yeah, based on measurements on your height and mine, yeah, I agree.
Yee.
Hug the Koopa, you know you want to.
Shut up!
Kupa. Kupa.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think Kai is just like resisting to hug the book in front of people.
So are we all going to the festival, Kupa?
Yeah, wait, you're all going?
Yeah, that's the whole reason we're here.
Huh.
I most likely want to find a more quiet place and take part in your hostilities.
I think you went to the wrong place, Kupa. Festivals aren't quiet at all, Kupa.
Yeah, that's the point.
I mean, why don't you come with us?
She thinks about it for a moment. Tell you what, I might take part in some if you guide me to the nearest forest, because from the looks of it, this place is going to be quite chaotic.
I don't think there's a forest just outside the city, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard of the place, but I've never seen it.
You guys can make lore general checks if you wish, in regards to Marasu and the geography of the surrounding area, except Kunara, because she has
Lord.
not been here.
Lord,
Pretty sure
General.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one of any sort of law skill.
I
I have
actually do have lores. I actually do
Really?
have lore, and I think Mystic has too.
You guys don't have a
I-
designated lore dispenser with Mika this time, so it's wise to invest in lore skills.
You have
Like,
Rosa, but she's not here yet.
True. So, like, so Cassandra just like, I'm sure we could probably point you to the forest, and why not just have some fun along the way? She puts her hand out for a handshake. Name's Cassandra, by the way.
It doesn't return the handshake, but she's like, nods in agreement.
Yeah, Kylie's
Oh.
like trying to reach her hand as well. But it's just like holding
Well,
up
no,
her
she would
hand.
she would bend down for Kai. Come on,
Sandra, you're too tall, Koopa.
that's not my fault. You're saying I'm too tall? Look at the 8-foot wolf over here.
You mean it, Koopa. You're too tall. Both
But
of
I
you are
imagine-
too tall.
Why did I imagine Nubs hitting Cassandra on the head?
Pretty much.
And she just takes it.
Sorry, but I can't control how I really develop over time.
Do like all your kind get this big, or are you just big for Lupin, you call it?
Yes. Most are, I suppose. After all, well, we come from a tribe. Therefore, we have responsibilities to protect the pack and hunt the most fearsome prey. To feed such a pack. You understand?
That's understandable. All develop what's around the land. And speaking of tall, holy goodness, that sword is huge. Can I see it?
No. Everyone else is giving me looks as it is, and I think if I draw it at random, they may go overboard.
Oh, come on. What's the harm in just handing over a big, giant sword that's about as big as you? I mean, goodness, does that hurt your back having it there?
The only time I will reveal my sword is in the thrill of battle, and perhaps a hunt. And since there's none of that up on this ship, I will not show you my blade.
Spoiled
Besides,
sport.
I don't want any trouble.
Okay, what about if I... Let's say I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Is this a sword measuring contest or something?
Oh my god.
She just takes the spear off her back, and can I just have her like do like a little twirl with it? Like
Yeah,
just have her
Kai's
like
in
twirl
awe
it,
right
like
now.
twirl it around.
Yeah, Kai in awe.
See? Then she just leans against. She just leans against it. Now your turn.
That is
You have an impressive
great
weapon, but it doesn't convince me to remove my blade from where it is.
You're not fun at all, are you?
I don't aim for fun.
Oh, come on. What's the point of life? Is there's no fun?
Happiness, Koopa. Fun, Koopa.
Yeah, talk about dark.
And there's a festival right there, so.
Trust me, if you had a past I had, you wouldn't be so cheerful at the first mention of fun.
Yeah, you can see Kai was gonna speak, but then she's like, I'm not.
I ain't touching that.
Yeah, I'm not going there.
Okay. But you still come in with us to the festival.
Are we
Yeah.
close yet, Sandra?
It's at about this
Man.
point that from the back of the ship you hear a bell ringing and then spoken over loudspeakers. The captain's voice. We're pulling in about 5 minutes. Everyone grab your things if you're going to disembark. Thank you for sailing with us. If you're sticking around, please have a reason for doing so. Thank you for sailing on the Callaway. And enjoy the Festival of Marasu.
Yay, good fall!
Yeah,
Then
luckily
cannons
Camilla
happen and
Day
you
off.
sink and you're on a beach.
Oh my god. No.
Time is repeating. Anyway.
Good dude. We have Aeon.
I will go along for now, as long as you keep up your end of the bargain.
One forest for a good time in the festival. Deal.
All right. And with those words exchanged, we begin to pull back from the Callaway and pan over into the city of Marasu itself, which has undergone many changes since it was reconstructed a century ago. Where once it was entirely ramshackle, slapped together wooden structures with lazy poles lattice working their way this way and that, as lounging posts for the ever casually demeanored Mithra, it has since undergone a stylistic renaissance of sorts. Finely done stone cobble foundations, more sturdy and presentable wooden surfaces, colored roof tiles, the various colored streamers for the celebration stretching between the roofs, the streets well paved instead of the compacted dirt or mud that one would have seen in old times. The city has become such a historical icon for Fenora and all of Mikatai that it has definitely undergone a massive overhaul. As we pull into the region known as the Twin Squares, where shopping carts and the festival games are already going underway, happy goers flitting between one stall and the next, or jumping into the scavenger hunts or the archery contests, our view pulls in to a slightly out of the way 2-story building. On the front, a large sign covered in red paint that depicts an open book, the quill writing on the pages. Beneath the image, the text reads, "The Vermilion Pages." On the inside, rows upon rows of shelves, lined with books from every corner of the world. Rays of green-tinted sunlight come through tall, colored glass windows in the back and the fronts of the store, lending a gentle, natural air to everything within. Carpeted floors, colored a deep brown, remind one of wood without coming with the unnecessary volume. Sitting areas, sequestered off to various places where people read on in quiet. And behind the counter, in an area rife with various recently returned books and new deliveries, working to sort various tomes into their proper place to be redistributed to the shelves in the public areas. Tom, if you could describe your character for us, please.
Looking, as the DM said, on these books, sorting them out, you would see, at a glance, what appears to be a Mithra, though if one were to look, you'd notice the lack of cat ears atop her head and her tail only being part of the length of what you'd expect from a Mithra. Instead, poking through her shoulder-length black hair with pale white highlights at the very end, Elvan is, albeit noticeably fluffier, like a melding between Mithra and Elvan. She is quite clearly a hybrid, a half-blood, so to speak. She has red eyes, quite reminiscent of another Mithra who once lived. Around her neck is a silver band with a long, faded piece of amber crystal at the very end. She's wearing a white shirt with a small black overcoat. Is that really the word for it?
I think it's more like a vest.
Vest. All black vest, no sleeves. Small white cravat. Very professional looking, as is wanting a librarian for this library. She has black trousers, boots that are a mixture of blacks and very dark browns, and then a belt upon which a book of spells is firmly sat. Is there anything I missed there?
I think that's everything. And as you are sorting through the books, a couple seconds pass before you hear a gentle little knock from a nearby doorway.
Huh?
Who
is it?
Yeah, you turn to look, and standing in the doorway, you see the face of your mother smiling back at you. Hey!
Hey.
Everything going all right in here?
One book after the next, I'm in here and not in the festival celebrating my great-grandparents.
Expression kind of strains a little bit. She steps forward. Right. Well, as it is, your father has a task for you. She reaches into a little satchel she has at her side and pulls out a slip of paper and hands it over to you. We've got a friend of ours coming in from offshore. Should be arriving on a ship called the Callaway. He's bringing in a shipment of new books for the library. Your father would like you to go down and get them and bring them back, and in exchange for that, she then flashes you a sly little wink, you'll get to enjoy the festival. You'll get the rest of the day off.
Hey, you actually gonna let me go this time? No more sneaking out in the middle of the night and
It causes
annoying you?
If you sneak out in the middle of the night, we have to ground you, and that just causes drama, and frankly, we're all sick of drama. Just, when you go out there, just stay out of trouble, alright?
I'll do my best. Hugs.
She hugs you back. Alright.
Oh. Are there any good books, or are they rubbish ones? Anything I like to read?
I don't know, actually. I'm not fully aware of the contents. Apparently, they're books that are being depreciated from the Academy City for being slightly out of date as far as like curriculums, but still useful.
Academy City, so spells, magic, black.
Don't get too excited, Rosa.
Hey, I gotta learn them somewhere. You sent my mental packing.
Right.
Anyway.
Alright.
The Callaway, you said.
That's the name of the ship. The man is named Ota Shore. He's a Numo. Won't miss him. I'll probably have a big wagon.
Well, we don't exactly get many Numa around here, so I'm sure I'll manage.
Except for Tam.
I haven't seen him in a while. How's Tam doing? Have you heard around?
Still doing his work in the castle, last I heard.
I wish I got to talk to him more. Imagine all the spells he could teach.
He's a very busy man. I'm not sure he'd have the time.
I know.
Besides, even for a Numo, he's getting up there in his years. I don't imagine he'll be in the position for a whole lot longer.
Oh, come on. The guy's been like the Archwhite Mage for centuries. He'll manage. He survived the Amber Tide. He's practically invincible.
Yeah, well. You can see your mother, like, open her mouth to say something, make a remark, and then cut herself off. Anyway, you should probably get a move on. You're the one with the chocobo.
I am the one with the chocobo, and she is looking forward to the festival even more than I am. She likes candied apples.
Alright, get a move on. I'll handle things here. She pats you on the shoulder.
You sure you have things handled?
Yeah, of course. I've been helping to run this library longer than you've been alive.
Ah, it is in our blood. Alright, Ota Shore, Callaway, Numo. Big card, books, right?
Right.
Alright. Fluffy?
Your chocobo would be outside in the back.
Still shouting loud enough to hear. Any quack in return?
A few seconds pass before you hear a from somewhere in the backyard.
She's ready.
All right, your mother pulls you in, gives you a little kiss on top of the head. All right,
Mom.
get going.
Yes, ma'am. So she's going to exit out back and run to her chocobo.
Yep, exiting out into the back, you have sort of like a little, sort of like shared yard of sorts, where a couple of other smaller businesses have their sort of back entrances that lead out into it, and a single alleyway passage that leads into this sort of almost like accidental courtyard. And tucked up against the back of the library, you see a hanging roof supported by pillars, essentially the chocobo pen's part of a stable, smaller in scale, as there's only one bird that needs to be tended to, and you can see the bird there, tall, majestic, well tended to, very well tended to, and already saddled. Immediately sort of like comes forward and like the front of her chest sort of bumps up against the gate, and she lets out a few little chirps and trills as you're approaching.
There's the best adventuring companion a girl could ask for.
Sort of like pushes her beak into your hand as you're reaching out.
Yes, I know, you are best girl, and we have plenty of geishel pickles and all the guild to spend on them.
Wings ruffle a bit on her side at the mention of geishel pickles.
Just scritches a scritch spot on her neck.
Kicks the ground a few times, kicking up some dust.
Yes, you're a cute girl, aren't you? Yes.
Oh
Just
my
one
God.
last job to do, and let's make a quick stop by the alley. I already have, that book. Don't tell Mum. But I think we need the rest of my adventuring supplies. I'm sure Mr. Ottershaw won't mind if we come packing. Come on.
All right, so you pull Fluffy out from the pen, leading her by the strap. I don't know what you would call it. The leader? I don't know.
Reins.
The reins, right? Leading her by the reins. Do you
Rosa,
mount?
before going to she's just leading her along for now, and before going to the docks, she's going to go to the central square where she has something hidden in an alleyway there. Namely,
All right.
a weapon.
Yep. You pass through the large sort of area where the twin plazas sort of converge. In old times, the twin plazas would have been separate locations near each other, connected by a street, but with the city's updated layout over time, and with some buildings having been demolished a long time ago due to obsolescence, the twin squares is more like one large square that's comprised of two half circles that have sort of splunged together to make this sort of elongated oval shape. In the middle, there's a large sort of statue sort of set up that you always take a moment to just kind of give a look towards. This beautiful depiction of a phoenix rising up out of the ground, wings sort of folding in front of it to form this sort of cradling bowl. And in it, several figures standing at varying altitudes upon this rising spire of crystal. Your eyes kind of flick between each face in turn. An Elvon woman, a Mithra woman, a chocobo with strange metallic parts, a human with short black hair and a staff, and a man with a scythe across one shoulder, all standing in unison. A lot of people, as they're passing by that statue, kind of stop to give it a look. You can see there's a large stage being set up sort of beside and next to that statue, where you know for a fact there will be a performance put on later tonight when the sun is setting.
Before heading towards the alley, she takes a moment to stop in front of the statue and look up at Nee and Mika. Grandma Nee? Grandma Mika? Sorry I haven't visited in a while, but you know what Mum's like. And Dad. Still haven't decided, but, well, responsibility and heart's desire conflicting, you know how it is. Still, getting what adventures I can. I hope you'd be proud of that much at least. Picking up some books for them, and then off to the festivals. Need to work on my archery. I will match you one day. And I'm talking to a statue again. Fluffy, I swear I'm not crazy. Don't say that. Cheeky. Yeah, you too.
Sort of nudges you in the shoulder.
Very funny. It's one less guy shall pickle if you do that again.
Perks up at the mention of the word Geishel pickles.
That's what I thought. Come on.
Okay.
Rosa speaks bird. Confirm.
All right. So you make your way into a nearby alleyway. It's kind of little ramshackle and smackled together. A few broken crates in the very back. You know what you're looking for.
She moves a couple of crates aside. There's a spare bit of rope she just throws over her shoulder.
Eh.
I hate you.
Neither. And she takes a sack that was hidden there. Inside of that is a handful of potions, and behind that is what is probably the worst looking bow and arrow you've ever seen. Clearly made by an amateur, but nevertheless she proudly puts it onto her shoulder, sticks the potions into Fluffy's saddlebag, alongside a particular tome, seals it up, gets her quiver full of arrows, and is ready to head to the docks.
All right. All right, and so you head off. Nope, someone just disappeared from Roll20.
That would be Ari.
Howdy.
Odd. But
Oh, I didn't. I'm literally still here.
You just disappeared on my screen for a second. Probably just a connection hiccup. But anyway. So, Rosa, are you mounting up or are you just walking casually?
She'll mount up from here. It's further to the docks from the library.
All right.
Question. Is Whisker's Corner here? On this... in the what is now the big one square?
Let me double check my thing about the layout. Sure, yeah. Just adding it to the list of important locations.
Just curious whether the old inn's still there.
It's undergone a lot of changes, but it's there.
Well, yeah, it got flattened by tsunami. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So with that, you start making your way down towards the docks, and it's sort of like I'd say you're like less than a minute away from breaking out onto the part of the street that where you actually break out onto the docks area of the city, where this long road stretches to the left and right with various piers coming off of it. And as you're going, just casually riding along on Fluffy's back, I would like you to make for me an awareness check.
Roll awareness.
7.
7?
Yep.
All right, that should be sufficient. So, as you're riding along, you see already from a slightly elevated position as you're walking downhill towards your destination that the Callaway has already docked. And you can see people disembarking even from here, though you can't make out any distinct images from this distance. As your chocobo's taking a few more steps, you suddenly hear just up ahead, just a little ways, "Hey! Ow!"
What do I see?
You don't see anything. You hear it sort of like around a corner on a less traveled sort of side street that sort of intersects the main one you're walking on.
Well then, adventure sense tinkering. Fluffy, let's check it out. Onwards!
All right. So you step back forward and poke your head around the corner, and you see there is looks to be a Mithra woman on the ground, sort of blondish hair, simple white clothes, sort of on her backside, pushing herself up with her hands. And you can see a little further down the street, running in the opposite direction, a human man with something clutched in his hand. It looks like some sort of bag or pouch.
Need some help?
The one looks up at you, blinks a few times. Yeah, I think I just got robbed!
Fluffy, you know what to do.
All right. Now, before that...
I want to choke about. He's not.
All right, so it is at about this point that we are going to cut away again to the rest of the group as you're disembarking from the Callaway. And on this dock, it is just a cacophony of activity. There are dozens upon dozens of people moving about, loudly chattering amongst each other, and you can already hear music playing deeper into the town as musicians are starting to just set up on street corners to add to the festive mood. You can see the decoration stretched all over the place, many representing a sunrise or a blue crystal or some other color of crystal. You can see others that seem to depict stylized wings. It's a weird amalgamation of different symbols sort of mixing together at differing points, but, well, to anyone who would roll a high enough history check, their significance would be known. But that being said, everyone else, what do you wish to do now that you are on the shore? Kayana, Aeon, this is the part where you unmute yourselves.
I suppose we're off the ship already?
Yeah, you've just disembarked. Your feet have just hit dry land.
I've latched onto Cassandra so I don't get lost.
All right.
Hold on to the adults near you.
No, Han, just go on his usual perch where he just sits between like her shoulder and the blade of her armor.
Mm-hmm. It's the comfortable spot where I don't get hurt.
Yeah, Kai is just like looking around because she's never been here, but she's heard of it.
Yeah, go ahead and make for me a lore history check, Kayana, if you would be so kind.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Here. May I get to the damn thing? Thank you. History check, right?
Yeah, lore history.
If you have any.
I don't have any.
Yeah, it'll
So
just be
it's
a
just
flat
2d6.
2d6 then, but that's okay. This will be a pretty easy roll because this is common knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Unless she rolls a crit fail.
Okay,
Oh, damn!
no, you're good.
11.
Damn!
Yeah, you only needed a 6. You're on fire today. So, Kayana, as you're
Apparently
looking...
the dice likes me now.
I guess. So, Kayana, as you're stepping off the boat and looking around at Murasu, your mind briefly trickles back to time spent among history tomes and lectures, and you recall the significance of this city. Around about 100 and almost 101 years ago, the first real mentions of the people who would one day become the Warriors of Light and Darkness were mentioned as being in this city. When a horrible plague spurred on by demonic forces threatened to destroy the whole thing, a band of adventurers came together, shut down that plague, and then went on to go on many other grand adventures all across Fenora, eventually culminating in the liberation of the Tower of Creation. This is where their story started. Amarasu itself has its own rich and detailed history, not just from the more warlike times of Mikatai long ago, but also just the fact that when the Amber Tide and the threat of the demons was really starting to kick off, this city was sunk beneath the waves. The entire island disappeared from the map for several months, and only a handful of hundreds of people managed to escape with their lives, and even among them, several died to injury or starvation in the coming months, and due to a lack of resources or injuries they sustained. Many of those lives were saved thanks to the cumulative efforts of the Warriors of Light returning at an opportune moment. But the Isle was still lost for many years, but eventually, following the end of the Amber Tide, the waters receded, presumably done as an act of gratitude from the goddess of water and messenger of the gods, Leviathan, whose whereabouts are presently unknown. But the waters receded, and while the Isle's geography and topography were forever altered, the city of Marasu's remains lingered on the shore. And over this next several years, it is said that Neothil and Mika Solwyn, two of the Warriors of Light, busted their balls off, metaphorically speaking, helping rebuild it, and even had their wedding here. And since then, because of this city's connection to that group of heroes and the fact that it was destroyed and rebuilt in record time, it has become something of a historical icon for the entire continent and even across the wider world after the tide walls fell. So there is a lot of attention on this city all the time. It is an icon, a historical linchpin, and it is reflected in the sheer amount of tourists coming here. Holy shit. There are a lot of them.
We created a tourist trap, oh no.
By accident, but yeah.
Oh boy.
But yes, there are a lot of people moving about, but you have all that information rolling around in your head, and most of that information is relevant to the rest of the party. The only ones who might not really have that would be Aeon, because is Aeon going to pay attention in history class? No. And Kunara, because Kunara's new here.
Aeon doesn't have the capacity to remember everything in history.
Which is ironic considering time mage.
True.
So, what are y'all doing?
Wow. I didn't think there'd be this many people.
So many people, Koopa.
So much history that I've read right here.
So this is a festival. It's unbearably loud.
I
Well-
told you it was gonna be loud, Koopa.
Well, no, this is a dock. The festival will be on the center of town.
Which will
Oh,
be
great.
even louder, Koopa.
Fantastic.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. Right?
Says the one who doesn't have heightened hearing or even
Okay.
sense of smell.
Well, now you're just
Okay.
showing off.
Okay, one. At least I have smarts.
Aren't we
Kai
confident?
has all the smarts, Koopa.
Someone
You are-
agrees with me.
Someone agrees with me. Yes.
She's just pointing at the freaking Moogle.
Koopa.
They're the best source of information.
Yeah, Kai and Aeon are gonna be great friends.
Oh god.
Oh.
Please tell me what your source is for this information. The Moogle agreed with me. That is fair.
Kai has the brains. Kuna has the smell, and Sandra has the strength. We work together, Koopa.
Oh my
I
god.
have more than that.
But you said you had great sense of smell, Koopa. Do you have something else?
Well, hearing, I can see better in the dark. Although I can assure you, many of these traits can be a blessing and a curse. And right now, the hearing and the nose is being a bit of a blight.
Then let's go, Koopa. We'll get more farther away from the noise so it doesn't hurt your ears, Koopa.
Yeah, let's find a nice quiet place. Maybe get something to eat. I'm starved.
Yee, Koopa!
Alright.
Hmm.
Let's get to the meat. Yeah, I'm kind of starving.
Come on, Kai, let's go.
What did I imagine? Aeon holding her freaking hand.
I was gonna say I wanted to just have the little stubs just hold her hand.
Come on, let's go, let's go.
Aw. Okay. The only time Kai will let anybody touch her.
Yee, Koopa.
The
All right.
Moogle is the only one.
All right, so.
The one you
I
can't be mad at.
All right, so.
I probably eat when I come across decent prey.
Okay,
Come
so.
on, let's go.
Okay, so. As a group, you move forward with a very insistent Aeon in the front, and you start making your way up a street towards what you presume to be the heart of the city. And as you're walking, up ahead, you can see coming down on Chocobo back, sort of a lone individual, the only one on Chocobo back on the way. You're a little ways away from each other. And as you're sort of approaching, you hear up ahead a startled shout, and then this woman on Chocobo back peers her head down a side street, and then the Chocobo goes, running off that way.
That was weird.
He said Chocobo, Koopa.
Was I the only one who heard a bit of a scream?
Yeah, I'm not the only one. Thank you, freaking God.
Well, better go see what's going on. Come on,
Just to
Anne.
point out, Kunara's already gone.
Oh, you're already moving?
Oh my god!
As a general note,
He's just-
Floppy's attacking him for non-lethal damage.
All right.
We've got stylizing him and then just jumping on him, essentially, pinning him.
All right.
I
Well,
imagine.
all right. Well,
So Kunara already ran off, and I guess the rest of us are catching up.
yeah.
Yeah. Practically being practically dragged by Adon.
Come on, let's go.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Oh!
all right. So, Tom, if you are having Aeon or having Fluffy give chase to this thief, I would like you to make for me a nature check to substitute for Fluffy's athletics.
Alright, and because of Floppy's ability, that's a +2. So that was nearly a critical success, but then it rolled away from a 6 to a 2. Anyway, so 6, 7, 8, 13.
13. All right. Easy enough.
Nice.
As the guy is running, your chocobo goes. The guy looks over his shoulder. His eyes go, shit! And he like throws his arms up just in time for a chocobo leg to grab onto his arms and just push him into the ground. Ow!
This is a non-lethal attack, but technically that would do 35, 41 points of damage.
All right. So as he sort of crunch him into the dirt, he's like, ow, and he passes out. He had 21 hit points.
I literally doubled his hit points. Good thing I called non-lethal on that.
Yeah. So the guy just passes out on the ground.
And
I think you got him, girl. Just pat her on the neck.
do the rest of us catch up?
Yeah, the rest of you kind of round. Yeah, the rest of you kind of round the corner, and you see this chocobo pinning a now unconscious guy to the ground.
I imagine Kunara just rushed in since you got ahead.
Indeed.
She was in full check.
All right, so
Does Rosa see them? Like, she went into a freaking alleyway just to see all these heavily armed people running behind her.
yeah, like after a second, you kind of look over your shoulder and you see this like small army of people with weapons approaching.
Fluffy, company.
Sort of backs up a bit.
Oh. Whoa, she has the word.
Before you say anything, he stole something. So I didn't just attack him randomly.
Sandra, good chocobo.
Just flies up to the chocobo and hugs the chest.
Make a nature check.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yep.
6.
Oh, crap.
Oh boy.
As you come flying up to the chocobo, lets out this little warning trill, just like stomps its claws a couple times.
Koopa.
Hi, Moogle.
Hi, Koopa, friend. You okay, Koopa?
Gets off the chocobo slowly and approaches Aeon. I'm Rosa, and you are?
My name's Aeon, Koopa. Rosa, Koopa.
Aeon, can I ask you something?
Yes, Koopa.
Can I hug you?
Eee, Koopa, I love hugs.
He just
Hugs,
hugs
Moogle.
Rosa.
Oh my god.
Koopa.
Meanwhile, there's just an unconscious guy on the floor.
He might be gurgling a little bit, you don't know.
So, yeah, Cassandra sees this and just walks past as they're hugging and just looks to the guy and I'm guessing sees the pouch that he was trying to carry.
Yep.
Speaking of, has that woman followed? I got wrong.
Yeah, she's catching up now and is like,
Oh, thanks.
So yeah, Cassandra picks it up and hands it to her. This yours, miss?
Yeah, thanks. And thank you.
and she nods towards you, Rosa.
That was honestly actually really cool. Thank you.
Fluffy gets most of the credit. She is the best chocobo to ever chocobo.
Yeah, Kai's in awe. Whoa, I've never seen one in person.
But seriously, you're welcome. And I don't need anything in return, except if you ever stop by the Vermilion Pages, don't mention it to anyone.
Someone kind of tilts her head a bit.
Okay. Wait, you work there,
Yeah.
don't you? I think I've seen you there before.
Anyway, this is, it was very nice meeting you.
It's just like avoiding the question.
I say this whole time, Kunara's just standing there, was clutching her hilt, and then...
She's
as
also
a
still
sigh-
holding Aeon in her arm. She isn't letting go.
So wait, what is Kunara doing?
Happy Moogle.
Well, I suppose when she came to a halt, she was standing there for a moment, holding her hilt of her sword.
Ready
and
to
then
draw it at a
basically
moment's
just-
notice, but now sees the situation is more or less.
Well,
resolved.
does it... Well, mainly, like, let's have a breath in frustration, then let's go and ready to walk off.
Well, I better take this guy to local authorities. And Cassandra just grabs him by the shirt and just starts dragging him. So, where's the nearest guard?
I can show you the way. Sorry, let's go, Aeon. I'm pretty suffocating the poor guy.
Why did I imagine Aeon just not letting go?
Probably.
Is he with you? Because I want to keep him forever.
Goodbye,
Yes,
Sandra.
Yes, unfortunately, he's with me. You can't keep him, though. I will loan him to you for the next 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, what's that supposed to mean, Kupo?
Well, it means that
You have upset the Moogle. How could you?
Aeon's just pouting.
And it means, unfortunately for her, she can't keep you because I keep you.
Yee, Kupo.
Wow. Are you guys adventurers by chance? You see a slight sparkle in her eye when she asks that.
That's pretty
Say
close.
that.
We all met on a boat, Kupo.
You mean on the Callaway?
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
pulled into port.
Oh, so you're not like a super awesome adventuring party going out slaying gods?
No.
Oh?
She visibly pouts.
Anyway, we should probably get this guy to a guard before
We
he
should-
wakes up.
Yeah, names? Maybe? I know this one's Aeon. Points to the Tarfel. You are?
How about you go first? He just
Well-
like points at Cassandra.
My name is Rosa Solwyn. Technically Rosa Solwyn a Phil, but that last part's a whole thing.
Okay, one sec, pause. Rest of you roll me lore checks. Actually, no, don't need to. You immediately recognize the name Soen and Ithil, except for Aeon and Kunara.
Mm.
But Kayana and Cassandra, you both immediately recognize that.
Cassandra definitely should.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Wait a minute.
Time out here.
Huh?
Did you say Solwyn?
Yeah?
As
Is
in Mika Solwyn?
Yeah, she's like grandmother.
No way.
She just slowly, like, leans in, sees the ears and the... Huh.
And she kind of brushes her hair in front of her ears. What are you doing?
Sandra, Kupo.
Yes,
I thought there was something.
Yes,
Thank
I'm
God.
half elf. What about it?
Oh, no.
Awesome.
No. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Honestly, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, Kai is just like, I read about your grandmother in history books.
Grandmothers, me and Mika. She pops up clearly, quite proudly. Well, you know, Warriors of Light, Heroes of the Amber Tide. Yeah, they're kind of super awesome.
Well, I never met one in person.
Oh, it was 100 years ago. I know Grandma Nee's still alive, but I've never had the pleasure.
You must be very proud of
uh, so yeah, your names were. Do you give me your names and stuff? She kind of just
Oh,
hardly starts scratching her arm uncomfortably.
I'm Kayana, but call me Kai. She never mentions her last name, just her first name.
I gotcha. I figured.
Hiya. Oh, and the Lupin.
And she stopped as she was slowly walking away. Well, since I have to greet everyone in this continent, I'm Kunara Fangblade.
You're from Mysidia, right? I've never seen a
Mistella.
Lupin before. Mistella. You're from Mistella, right? I've never seen a Lupin. I've just kind of read about you guys a lot. Hi.
Hi. And what does your book say about my kind?
Rosa, lore history or general, your pick.
History, because that's what I'm good at.
All right.
4... 11.
11. Your knowledge of the Lupin is not extensive, but what you do know is that the Lupin are a race of largely tribal and clan-based individuals who live in the northeastern ice flats of the continent of Mistella in numerous dozens upon dozens of sort of mingling tribes. They are a very communal people, sharing the burden between each and every member. Their hierarchies are usually based upon experience and age. And they don't have a death penalty because due to the harsh climes of their homes, they never kill their criminals, save for in the most horrific of cases. And usually it is very rare to see a Lupin away from their tribe unless they're not welcome there anymore.
She starts all up until the not welcome bit, at which point Lupin aren't usually away from their tribes unless... Well, it's rare.
Well, at least you know the basics. Unlike
Yeah.
others.
I mean, you could tell me more and I could write it down and make books and stuff.
I don't think we're gonna be that acquainted that long.
Oh. Well, are you here for the festival? Because it kind of goes on a lot. I could show you around. There's the... there's an archery game modeled after Grandma Nee. There's a story circle, which we kind of host every year. That's based on Mika. I'm often involved in that one. There's this mud pit where you can throw mud at each other with one person per team, designated as a cover, basically a meat shield to block the mud balls. It's themed after Alistair Quinton, who wrote the Chronicles of Eno. There's a chocobo race modeled after Rocket, the one with the cyborg parts. And then there's a scavenger hunt based on Thanatos Shadowgrasp. That one usually keeps the kids occupied. The task of finding a toy scythe, a big brown towel that's meant to be, the Dark Knight cloak that had another person's soul in it or something. That's not technically how it happened, but details. And a piece of rope.
I do not know your individuals you speak of. And
Oh, I could
what's
go
with the
on for
rope?
so long.
You sure do like to talk a lot, Koopa.
As for the rope, I'm not entirely sure on the details. It got mentioned a few times in the book. I think it was a gag.
Yeah, he
I
always
don't
did.
get it.
Yeah, he always did talk about that. Always got a grumpy look on his face.
You see her head slowly turn on a swivel towards Cassandra. Sorry, what?
I've just heard the story a lot, and especially the rope one. I mean, he always really hated talking about that.
I'm sorry. You didn't give me your name yet.
She just kind of slowly smirks and holds out a hand for a handshake. Cassandra. Cassandra Shadowgrasp at your service.
Paragraph.
Koopa.
That's what I said.
Glop.
That laugh, though, damn.
Koopa.
I waited so long. You have no idea. Hi, we're technically family. Hi.
Okay. And she
You
just
Shadowgrasp. You're related to Thanatos. So like grandfather, great grandfather, some sort of cousin. What?
Oh,
Great.
you know Grandpa Dampy.
Grandpa Stampy. Now tell me everything.
I don't mean to
Okay.
break the mood, but you didn't mention anything about forests. Is there any around here?
Yes, it's Forrest. Thanatos, tell me.
So, yeah, he was my great grandpa.
He's my god grandfather or whatever. We're related. We're practically sisters.
My
Oh.
God.
Sandra, I didn't know you had a sister, Koopa.
Neither did
She
I.
is
No.
grinning and like she's just received the best present of her life.
Okay,
Yeah,
she
Kai's
just
just
kind of
like, what the hell?
pats Rosa on the head. Okay, well, Rosa, was it?
Yeah.
Can you let me go for a second?
Oh, sorry, sorry. It's just been I've been really wanting to meet some more family for so long because it. Sorry.
Okay. Well, this has been an interesting day.
Are you
And I
a
suppose
dragoon?
I find-
Did you get that from Kyra?
Koopa.
Yes. Great Grandma Kyra was my inspiration, though I actually went with an actual spear rather than the whip she used, which is actually still kind of cool. It's still at my mom's house.
You have the whip.
And her armor.
Wait, hold on. She literally no sense of personal space. Goes to her neck and starts examining the cloth. Is this a thing? Is this the thing?
Yes, this is the
Hi, Caius. Hi.
Koopa.
There's no Caius in there anymore, and this is the last remnants of the cloak. The rest of it's kind of been eaten away by time.
Oh. That used to be a person.
Well, part of a person.
Is it normal that you talk to cloth?
Oh, nothing about it as normal. Kind of Thanatos' soul kind of got split because he was a Dark Knight and it manifested as a cape that tried to kill everyone. But then became good and sacrificed himself in the end.
Koopa.
Well,
Yeah, so
And so you're a dragoon. I'm a watcher. I kind of use spells mixed with bow and arrow because Nika. Kind of had a mentor for a while. Her name was Vise.
the
Bunny lady.
the bunny lady with all the cactus.
Oh, you know her?
Yeah, I heard all kinds of stories.
Oh yeah, she stayed here for a while, taught me some of the basics, and then my parents found out and kind of kicked her out of town.
Well, that was kind of rude.
I shouldn't have said that. Hey.
The guy that you're still holding, by the way, is starting to stir.
All right, let's save the history lesson / pseudo family reunion for
Yeah.
later. Let's get this
Wait.
guy to a guard.
I know it's a lot, but I have so many questions. Yeah, guards, this way. There's yeah. Hi.
And Han, did you want to say something?
Koopa.
That's it.
This is the Koopa.
All
So
right,
Cassandra, I guess, is just dragging the guy along while Rosa's watching the way, like leading the way, I guess.
Yeah. So Kayana was quiet for most of that. I imagine just transfixed by the knowledge this woman just spewed.
Yeah.
And this woman's young, by the way. She's like a late teenager, and she just blew all that out the top of her head.
Yeah, she's just like, what the hell? She knows more history than me.
As for Kunara, she's just confused at what they were talking about.
Yep. So
and also, you know that shocked face that every emoji had. That was Kai.
Just kind of staring.
I imagine we dump the guy on top of Fluffy just for transport, but the entire way she's leading them, she keeps looking over her shoulder back at Cassandra.
Can I ask a question? Is there anything else on the guy? Like, can I check for anything?
Scavenge check.
Oh god. And so it begins.
I was waiting for that scene for so long.
Scavenge. Okay, so
9.
9? Yeah.
9.
You find like 40 gil tucked in one of his pockets and a really rinky-dink little knife. That's about it.
Can I take the gold?
Because
I mean, is that towards Cassandra or is that towards the DM?
I guess to DM. Sorry, I didn't realize I said it in the voice.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I mean, if you want to take it, yeah.
Can I just I haven't forgotten out of character, but can I also point out that Rosa's completely forgotten something?
What's that?
Yeah, I know.
She's gonna be grounded.
So I guess is there like a guard station or just a guard?
Yeah, Rosa, you lead your newly found persons of interest past the sort of around the edge of the twin squares, and eventually you come to one of numerous guard houses that set up throughout the city. You see like a single guard sort of stationed outside the door. Looks to be on a bit of an early lunch break. He's got a little bowl with some like cooked up eggs and little chunks of ham, and he's eating at it with a fork. And he looks up as you're approaching. His Mithrin ears perk up. He's like, "Oh, what? What's going on? Who's that? What?"
He
See, our friend here caught herself a thief. Just freaking tosses the guy at his feet.
Oh!
He tried to run away. I had a chocobo.
The guard stands up, looks down at him. Thief, huh? What was he trying to steal, and who from?
Shit, we didn't get a name.
We didn't get it. She was a Mithra, right?
Yeah,
Mithra,
woman,
blonde hair,
clothes,
white dress.
blonde hair. Yep.
It was a Mithra woman. Got her into an alley. Stole her pouch.
All right. Guess we'll. And there's not necessarily a whole lot I can do without more evidence. We'll hold the guy here until he wakes up and question him properly. See what happens then. Thanks for reporting it, at least. And his eyes.
No problem.
And then his eyes land on Kunara, and they go. What? What in the fresh umbral hell is that?
That is a lupin.
Oh, I've never seen one before.
Neither have I. She looks awesome, huh?
Dad.
I feel privileged.
Right, sorry. He comes over, picks up the unconscious guy who's still stirring. You hear mumbling like, make soup as he's dragged inside.
And we lost Ari.
That computer apparently shut off. She'll be back.
Or not automatically. Oh, well, fuck.
Okay, we'll wait a minute.
I suppose one little detail to point out. Kunara's keeping a good distance away from the chocobo.
Yeah.
Hey, you alright over there? It's just Fluffy. She doesn't bite. She's best bird. Yes, I know you, casual pickles, all of them.
Can I pet Fluffy? Goodbye.
Fluffy, be nice to the good Moogle. He just wants to pet you. And he's adorable. Like you, you're still more adorable, though, don't worry.
Just as a point of order, you would know this, Rosa. The main reason Fluffy reacted with hostility the way she did is because of the surprise and the rapid acceleration Aeon had.
Yeah.
Rosa is usually quite friendly, but Fluffy is also still an animal.
She takes hold of the reins and kind of takes hold of Aeon's hand. So, just be gentle. And then leads it to pet. On the head. Or on the head.
You kind of pat Fluffy on the head a couple times, Chocobo. Sniffs you a couple times.
Kupo.
Fluffy's a good girl. She's my adventuring partner.
Sandra, I pet the chocobo.
I can see that. It's nice chocobo though.
She is. My parents got her for me to try and get me to, stop going on my outings. Didn't work.
They gave you a chocobo to get you to stop going out?
They don't really. You saw how back there I asked her, our maiden in distress, not to mention it?
The secret, Kupo?
Kinda. They don't really approve of me going out and doing this kind of thing. It's a whole thing.
Kind of weird considering your heritage, isn't it?
Maybe she's grounded, Kupo.
You Thanatos' granddaughter?
Great granddaughter, but yeah.
Great right, Elva, nice friends. Goodness, how long I live. Have you ever met Nee?
Once when I was little, it's hard to remember a bit. Wore a lot of blue from what I remember.
How old are you?
25.
Did you ever meet... I don't know, Bayan Thorwin Athil?
Pardon?
Bayan Thorwin Athil. Did you ever meet her?
Name doesn't sound familiar.
It's their second daughter.
I don't know if I really remember a whole lot of other family other than Nee, who showed up when Great Grandpa died.
Oh. Alright.
Rosa, is it?
Yeah.
Well,
She-
one who claims to have...
I will know, she looked visibly more down for that.
No. You are one who claims to know much about my kind, then you should know that it'd be wise for me to keep away from your pet, in case I might mistake
Fluffy
it
is
as
not-
prey.
Fluffy is not a pet, she is my partner.
Well, unless you don't want your partner to be mistaken as prey, I suggest you keep it far away from me.
Excuse me?
Kupo?
She's saying she wants to eat your bird.
Yeah. Not happening.
I figured that. Don't want another incident.
Can you just not threaten my chocobo, thanks?
Well,
Anyway.
as long as they're kept fed, I will have no harm towards your chocobo.
Yeah, a little tidbit on if you're gonna be around here. Chocobos technically aren't for eating, they're for riding.
Oh, trust me, I found that out the hard way.
Okay.
Well, according to your cultures.
On that note, so Cassandra, back to what I was saying. So you never met Peony, you just met Nee. You don't know how she died then?
Died. No,
You never heard anything about that and the Solwins and the Athils and things happening there? Thanatos never said anything?
I don't know a whole lot about what happened to them. Great grandpa didn't really talk a whole lot about it.
Right.
Did something happen?
Um. Well, it's like this. See, Fayen's my birth mother, and my dad. Apparently, his name was Vanan. They died shortly after I was born, and I was kind of shipped off here and raised by my parents, Ebony and Tommy Solwyn. They they kind of don't really like talking about the Athils all that much and what happened. So I know I just was wondering if you knew anything about it.
I'm afraid I don't.
Well, there's a lot of other questions I want to ask. Like, what was she like, Nee?
Well, I mean, when I met her, she was really sad because we were burying Grandpa Thampy, and
Oh,
I wasn't really in the best. I really wasn't in the best mindset myself.
well. The Warriors of
Just
Light and
hugs Cassandra.
the Warriors of Light and Darkness are kind of my idols, and Mum and Dad don't really like me going out on all this, but I don't even know, I kind of do it anyway because they went on adventures and saw things and helped all kinds of people and were awesome. Kayana has woken up.
Welcome back.
So, and
I don't.
I want to be that. Just kind of getting out there and doing things.
Well, why don't you?
Well, like, they don't approve, and I have a job in our family bookstore that Mika founded, by the way, and it just I don't want to hurt them or disappoint them. It's crap.
So you seek to prove yourself, correct?
I wouldn't say that. I just want to go out there and have some adventures, real adventures. It's not roaming the streets and picking up rubbish for people for a 5 kilo piece. We Me and my friend back in school, we snuck into the castle once, ended up in a dungeon, and got attacked by and some animated armor. I got grounded for that one.
Sounds like you get yourself in quite a bit of trouble.
Oh,
Reminds me of me and Aeon back home. We get in all kinds of trouble.
Trouble is our middle name, Koopa.
So I'm just assuming you guys have started going on a walk through all this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just walking, probably getting away from the guard station so we don't just
yeah, probably
Yeah,
heading
and-
towards the square now. It's just the square.
It's still called the Twin Squares because it's still kind of divided into two parts. They're just kind of
Alright.
conjoined at the hip.
The twin square. So, I don't know. I'm just really glad to meet you.
I'm going to say the same. I mean, I wasn't really expecting to run into a soul.
I know. What are the chances, right? Maybe it's fate. Maybe we're going to go and hunt crystals and kill gods. And you're a dragoon, right? Did you meet a dragon?
Pardon?
You're a dragoon. That means you probably went to Garlat and did training and met dragons.
At the mention of Garlat, her face kind of darkens and she just looks forward. Yeah, I've been there.
What are dragons like? I mean, I've read about them, but
Some are big and scary. Some are kind of dorks.
Have you ever met Bahamut?
Bahamut's asleep.
From
She knows, but she's an incredible babbling idiot right now.
That's right.
Yeah, just listening,
no,
just like saying nothing.
but I did meet a full-grown one that works with the Dragoons.
Ooh.
Vidofnir was her name.
Nah.
Very, very kind for a big dragon. Like literally, I could stand on her nose and I'd still look like a fly.
And the book says that your grandmother rode Bahamut into battle.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I never got to meet her.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
It's at about this time that your meandering ambulations through the streets of Marasu bring you out into the Twin Squares proper, and you are hit by just a wall of smells and music and the sound of revelry as people are already starting to jump into the various games that have been set up. From the various ones that Rosa listed earlier to more simple things like just a fucking pie eating contest or a game of darts. There are booths where people can get their faces painted and various other just the sort of typical festival amenities you might expect. There are various people around the edges of the plaza of the Twin Squares playing music, sort of synchronizing with each other to bring up the sort of festive tune on flutes and violins and little high-energy guitars and lutes. It's all very nice and pleasant.
I got. Hey, hold on a second. I got an idea. Hey, Tone. You know in carnivals where you see like a strength contest where you take a big hammer, you bash it, and it's supposed to go up and hit a bell?
Yeah, something akin to that. Is
there one around?
Sure, we'll say there's something akin to it, slightly modified with Magitech to make it work and make sounds when it happens. But yeah, there's something like that.
Cassandra sees this and looks over to Kunara. Hey, Kunara, wanna try to have some fun?
You could try the pie. You could try the pie eating contest. We have a reigning champion of like 100 years. There was like this Auri girl, Dran girl, like so long ago. No one's been able to beat her score since. Should give it a go.
Oh my
I'm
god.
having a hard time to enjoy your festivities on the fact that I'm hungry and these smells are overwhelming me.
Nah. Well, I'll get you food in a second. Here, come here. Like she just pulls Kunara over to the strength test like game, and like just.
But she will literally just like looks what you're looking at.
She just gives her the hammer that they're supposed to use. Like, here, go and hit
it. What's the point of this?
Let's test your strength.
Show us how strong you are, Koopa.
Fine, but you better get me something after this.
Yee.
If you hit it hard enough, you win a prize.
So you get it to hit that bell, I'll buy you whatever you want.
All right. Kunara, make a force check.
Oh no.
Sandra, I have gold too. I got it from the guy we turned in. I can
Nice.
help you buy it.
Nice. That's dinner. Nice work, Aeon.
Koopa.
Can't believe I'm doing this.
Come on.
Kunara, Kunara, Kunara.
Kunara.
Kuna.
And
Oh.
He's gonna say Kanada. She's like,
All right, what'd you get?
well, hang on, I'm just looking at my 4. 8 in total.
All right. Okay, so even like a couple pops, like, okay, fine, we'll do this. And you're not really putting your all into it simply on the grounds that you don't really see the point. You're just humoring these people. So you take up the mallet, you lift it up, and you kind of let gravity do a lot of the work as you bring it down. Boom, and you watch the little ball go sliding up the scale about 2/3 of the way before coming back down and just settling back down at the bottom. It did not hit the bell.
Oh, that was a nice try though.
Oh, I want to go. I want to go.
I want to try Kubo.
Oh,
No, Aeon,
But-
I think it'd probably be best if you didn't. Let's not have a repeat of what happened last time.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead.
force check for
I did-
Rosa on the grounds that you are not as physically imposing a character race.
No.
Your DC will be slightly
No,
higher.
she is a small 19-year-old noodle
Yeah,
arm.
Can she,
Your
can she
DC
even lift? Can she even lift the hammer?
Strawberry with some effort, imagine.
Yeah, your DC will be higher.
While this is going on,
That's not a bad roll. 6 and a 4 plus only 2, 12.
12.
Whoa.
So, Kunara, you watch as Rosa, this little short youth, comes up, takes the hammer, kind of hefts it up onto one shoulder, kind of bends the knees a bit under the weight, and then pushes up, lifts the hammer up, and brings it down. And while the metal thing doesn't quite hit the bell, it gets within a couple inches of the bell. And somewhere deep in the heart of your canine mind, you're thinking, did this little puke just hit this thing harder than I did?
And that is the skill of a veteran eventually to be adventurer.
Kai's turn. Kai's turn. Kubo.
I don't think so.
As a heads up, Kayana, you're either really far away from your mic or your computer changed your microphone. Or
Yeah,
you
it turned off for some reason.
Oh, are you on your phone right now?
No.
Ah.
I had to reboot it.
Ah, okay. And just pointing it out because your microphone sounds different.
Uh-huh. Anyway, better. I
well,
don't
you
know.
have quite impressive strength for someone so short.
What can I say? It's my blood. Literally in my blood. Because, you know, light, darkness, adventures.
I wouldn't know, but fair enough.
Yeah, Kai's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't wanna. For my size, I don't think so.
Come on,
It is
Kai.
worth noting that Tarufel are remarkably physically strong for their small size.
Dwarves.
Come on, what can it hurt?
Go, Kai. Go. Go, Kai. Go.
Yeah, she's like, fine.
Yee, Kubo.
She's like, give me the damn thing.
All right, give me a force check,
Oh.
Kayana.
Oh god.
Once this is all done, you are gonna stay true to your promise and give me food.
Well, I
I
mean,
did
you
hit
didn't
it.
the- Oh, you didn't hit the bell.
So it's force, right?
Ah, I
What?
Yeah,
see.
your force.
Give me a second. My thing just loaded up for some. I had to redo in everything that I had. Where is and plus the amount of force that we have.
Yep, 2d6 plus 3 for you.
What the?
11. Not bad.
Ooh.
I'll,
Getting a lot of
11.
11s.
All
I
right.
don't know. The dice site that somehow likes me now after the amount of freaking things we did.
I know. Either way, so you lift the hammer up, you kind of topple over backwards a bit, and then you let inertia and the centrifugal force, you pivot forward, you bring the hammer down, boom, doesn't quite hit the bell, but it comes close. About as close as Rosa's.
Nice
this-
one.
Yeah.
Ah,
So you want me to literally hit that on top, the bell?
Yes,
that-
Kubo.
That's the point of the game. You like to give it another try?
oh, working
Give it
in the
here.
engines or work.
Peer pressure!
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
This is the campaign begins with peer pressure. I love it.
Just a note, I'm not doing it for
what
your
the fuck
amusement.
was that laugh, guy? Just.
It's maniacal.
Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Just a
no,
note.
seriously.
I'm not doing this for your amusement. I'm doing this to get some decent food.
Roll it.
Alright, big baby, chill out.
though.
So it tries again.
All right.
Although I was thinking about maybe a reroll thing, but
Just with your first destiny point on this, for God's sake.
I mean,
You
I have
have
got a
any
destiny
destiny?
point.
No, no.
Not gonna lie, I can see Kai's going, relax.
All right. What'd you get?
Well, let's see. Yeah, could I just spend that destiny?
What?
I mean, tell me
mean,
what you got before you
Only
do that.
like 9.
What's your force?
3.
So what you got then is a 10.
No. I
Yeah.
rolled and
6, 7, 8,
Seven.
9, 10.
and 9.
5 plus 2 is 6.
Oh.
It goes up to 7, and then
Sorry,
you
my
add
head's
three to-
gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah,
You
10.
had to do a lot of math yesterday.
And for your large size, 10 is exactly what you needed.
Oh.
Yeah, the DC was
Oh my
slightly
God.
higher for everyone else because they aren't Lupin. They don't have the same sort of large, just innate physical strength you do. So
Because I imagine at this point she just puts more force in it just to get that food because she's getting impatient.
This time, like you are, you do not want to be showed up by these weird, puny, furless creatures. So you pick up the mallet, you come back, and this time you give a full-on proper swing down, and the rest of you kind of like you feel a small little like kick back of air that sends like Rosa. Your hair just kind of goes as the hammer and hits the bell with a loud bling, and some Magitech lights along the side go ding, 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 ding.
Na 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 na.
Yeah, pretty much that little jingle plays.
Nice.
Whoa.
And there we have it. The majesty of the Lupin. Everyone is awesome. You're all awesome.
I just hope the butcher of my ears was worth it.
Oh.
Let's hope so. Oh, Cassandra, Aeon, Cassandra. Here, come. She grabs them, start dragging them away somewhere.
Oh god.
Hey, look. Attention square. See that? Grandpa Thampy.
Grandpa Debbie, goodbye.
Points up at the statue of Thanatos.
Bless you. Bless you, God.
So, wait. So she sees the statue there.
Yeah,
The
you see
statue of the
yeah,
Warriors of
you
Light.
see the statue of the Warriors of Light in the center of the square. Yeah.
Yeah, Cassandra just slowly walks up to it and like just right where she's like right in front of the one that would be Thanatos.
Okay, give me just a second here.
He wants to get there.
I want to get an appropriate track. All right.
Oh God.
It was basically Thanatos' theme.
It is.
All right, so you step forward and you can see the statue with all the various warriors of light and sort of near-ish the top, sort of like right below where Nia and Mika are sort of standing, you can see the depiction of Thanatos. Looking much younger than you ever saw him, but it's unmistakably him.
She just kind of subconsciously just starts just fidgeting with the cloak on her neck.
So right now you're standing in the twin squares. Over there is the Whiskers Corner, where the Warriors of Light stayed at the beginning of their adventures. And it's this square where she's in full tour guide mode and she's going on about the evacuation of the square in the Little Wing.
Yeah, Cassandra is like hearing every like tiny bits of it, but she's just not really paying attention. Just looking at the statue. Then just pulls out her spear from her back and just looks at it, and then back to the statue, and specifically where the scythe is.
Idol of yours?
That's my great grandpa.
And those ones, Mika, my grandmother's. Yes, both of them. Don't ask me how it happened, I don't know.
Then my condolences.
It's fine. It's been a while since he's been gone. Right. Who wants to get something to eat?
I've been
You owe
waiting
me.
forever.
Well,
Oh,
if we're on the Warriors of Light tour, then Whisker's Corner it is.
Oh, come on. Aeon just got our dinner money, so we can eat to our heart's content.
Goodbye.
As long as you're happy to pay, because I am one that's not carrying Gil.
You deserve it, Kupo. You won, Kupo.
I
It's on the
mean,
floor
quick.
now.
Quick
there wasn't really
warning.
much doubt. But sure.
Quick warning. Don't ask for the water. 1, because it's not water, and 2, because it's God so expensive.
It's got more expensive over the years.
Is there
in,
any other kind of water? Although
Oh.
saying that, you tax it where I can just get it from a stream, so I guess there is.
This water is from a place called Pierre Oasis. A drop of it will probably knock you flat. It's alcohol, and I've never touched normal alcohol. Never mind that stuff. So.
Sanija?
I mean, I had like a few drinks back during training. I didn't drink like a fish like my grandpa did. Like seriously, he was well over 100, and he was in ice. We would still catch him sneaking whiskey into his room.
Then I
Yeah.
suppose you won't have me to worry about getting it, because I wish nothing to cloud my senses.
I mean, that's fair enough. I don't drink either.
So we're going for the food. Let's go.
Yes.
All right.
Although
Me-
I've...
I hope you don't mind dancers.
What?
All right, Kayana's trying to say something.
Yeah, I don't drink at all in general, but I just want food.
Food it is.
All right.
I vote that I have mine outside, if you don't mind. Not just because it'd be too crowded for my...
There aren't any
Comfort.
tables really outside for that. Around Whisker's Corner, it's all indoors. Sorry.
Actually, at this point, there is outdoor seating.
Never mind. I didn't say anything.
It's been a century. The place has been upgraded.
All right.
And-
Well, we'll get an outside table then if there are any. It's quite busy.
Yep.
There's also rooms up there if you need a place to stay. I would offer you somewhere, but I don't want my parents to know that I've talked to any of you like at all.
But like I was saying, as well, not just because of, not to my liking of how many company there is, but the fact that I'm taller than every door flame in this lonely town.
It's quite a sizable door frame. We have Galka coming in every now and then.
All right, so for sake of it, it's easy enough to sort of go up to just like find yourself a seat. After a few minutes, a waitress comes by. Looks to be a Mithra woman, sort of reddish hair up in a bun, has like a few little freckles over her cheeks. Surprising, sort of dull hazel eyes, gives you a warm smile as she's coming over. All right, what can I get all ya?
I imagine Rose has been in here before because it's the Whisker's Corner. So she goes, "Hey, Donna. I met some friends."
What was that?
Just calling her just at random because I imagine you don't have a name for Tizona.
Tizona. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to come up with one, but all right, Tizona works. Yeah, after
So I imagine
Ralphon's
Rosa
like
would be familiar.
All right. Yeah, so you say that, Tizona gives a little nod. It's like, I can see that. Her eyes sort of land on Kunara, and she raises an eyebrow. And who's this one?
She's a Lupin. She's from like another continent. It's kind of cool. Literally, it's a cool place.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
Anyway.
out of context, is Kunara just gonna be the new rocket that everybody just immediately looks at and just goes, "What the fuck"?
Pretty much. Though in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and just slip this in here right now. Rosa, you would know this Tizona is gay as fuck.
Instant,
I picked up on the vibe, but Kunara, she's completely oblivious.
Yeah. So just like looks at Kunara and's like, oh my, that's exotic and attractive as hell.
You better not be. Which Kunara's response is, you better not be eyeing my sword as well.
She's eyeing something. Before you go and shopping on your menu, with after food.
All right, so just for the sake of brevity, we won't go like over this full on. You guys can have whatever general type of dish you want, just for the sake of brevity. It will cost 10 gil per person for a real nice meal, or 5 gil per person if you want something a little less extravagant. So basically 25 gil or 50 gil. Your pick.
Rose is just gonna spend 5 on her part because she ain't bothered.
So,
I mean, at this point, we have the communal guild at this point, so it's just, as a group, how much are you willing to spend on a roleplay meal?
Well,
I mean, again, if Rose is paying for herself, Aeon just took 40 gil off that guy, so we can just spend that.
All right.
mm-hmm. And you currently owe me something.
And I said I would get it. Aeon,
Yes,
our gil,
Sandra?
please. Our gil, please.
Yes, ma'am. Koopa.
So if they're all using that to buy nice meals, then I just spend 5 for that. So we only lose 5 technically.
Well,
And
I would take.
I'd already added the 40 from the looted guy to the communal guild, so.
Okay.
So communal guild is down to 135.
all right, what are you saying?
I said alright.
And then just seeing that Rosa is just getting something a little smaller, she just kind of sits the waitress over and whispers her head, and bring her whatever desserts that she likes the most.
I rather go with like the most largest portion of meat you have.
Jesus.
Highest quantity.
All right. So Tizona is intrigued by this. Like, and she's just writing down dutifully. Eyes constantly flicking to Kunara.
Oh,
Oh god.
Because Kunara's just awkwardly looking at the others and then looking at her as like, what?
Considering the only guy at this table is a Moogle, I imagine she's just eyeing everybody.
Oh yeah, but the exotic wolf woman especially.
I mean, she's probably... Imagine not eyeing Rosa because she's known her since she was a kid.
Yeah.
True. I mean, other than that, just again, there's 3 others.
Yeah. But regardless. And after she takes y'all's order, she gives y'all a big grin and goes sauntering off. Leaving you alone to chat for a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Well-
she enjoys it in there with the dancers and she enjoys her work.
I can tell.
Oh shit!
I was waiting for it.
I'm so grounded. Face plants the table.
Are...
I would say someone spit in your drink, but we haven't gotten our drinks yet. What's up?
I was down at the docks for a reason, wasn't I?
Kicking
My
the crap out of that
parents-
one guy?
My parents sent me to meet someone who was making a delivery of tomes from the Academy City at Numo Otashore, and I totally forgot because everything. Oh, I'm screwed.
Wait, the Academy City?
Yeah, we were getting a delivery of tomes from there, it's just basic magic books.
Well, that's cool. I got an aunt that works there.
So you're
Huh?
not a law enforcement then?
I'm sorry. I mean,
Did Kunara think you were a cop? Because that's what
Yes,
I
yes,
guessed
yes.
here.
I'm a 19-year-old troublemaker. No, I am not. Oh god.
Well acquainted with the guard, but not a guard.
I don't suppose he'd happen to still be there and wouldn't have made his way to the Vermilion pages by himself and...
Make an awareness check to look around.
8 plus... Awareness. Where is awareness? 3. 9, 10, 11.
11. Looking around, you don't see any sign of anyone bringing a delivery to the Vermilion pages right now. So either he showed up and then left already, he hasn't shown up yet, or he's not going to. One of those.
What should I do? I'm screwed.
Well,
Yeah, but we haven't got on lunch yet, and we just spent all that money, and
Don't look at me. I've had enough of that from the waitress.
Yeah. And just for the record, Fluffy is kind of like on the other side of a fence that you're sitting next to in this outside seating arrangement, just kind of curled up, looking at you, tilts her head. Can clearly tell that you're upset about something.
hey, come on, it's not that big a deal. Look, after we eat, we'll help you find the guy. If he's already at your house, we'll explain to your parents what happened. How about that?
yes, be my parent. I'm dead.
I think I may pass on that. I've met quite enough individuals today.
Oh, come on. We've already been through this much. Surely you can help just a poor, lost girl help find her way.
I'm neither poor nor lost. Thank you very much.
You had like 5 gil to your name.
Family's not awful, are they? In a library.
Yeah, fair.
Frankly, the way I see it, it's not really my problem. It's hers.
Okay.
Well, we bought you dinner, Kupo.
Yes, I do believe you. Oh, yes, besides, wasn't there something about showing you to a forest? Can't very well do that if you wander off on your own to be trapped amidst all the festivities.
He does have a point.
You're not wrong.
Look, I
Fair
really
enough.
need help here. If we don't track that down, I will never see the light of day again. There'll be no adventures, no bows.
Calm yourself. Fine. As long as you stay true to the word that you have promised me, I suppose I could lend my senses to help you track down the individual.
Excellent. Let's eat and dash, yeah?
Yes.
So
Because I am
pause
not
for
leaving without my food.
Okay, so pause for 1 minute. I need to hit the restroom, and just as a point of order, you guys have already veered way off course from what I was trying to do initially. You completely dodged the first combat encounter.
Wait, what?
I won't go into details until later, but you totally dodged it. Now, I'll be right back. I need to hit the bathroom.
I highly suspect we were supposed to go to Ota Shore right after we met. The guys were being robbed and dead on the side of the road somewhere.
Maybe.
I mean, to be honest, I don't mind if we miss the combat encounter because I'm just thrilled to get a bit more roleplay in.
I'm already loving how the group's dynamic is already. Especially with Kunara is just like this.
She's such a bitch.
Yep.
She's just this cold, big, giant wolf woman who's like, I don't care.
And I thought it was going to be Kai who doesn't care.
No, Kai's just wanting to hold
hug.
Aeon forever. She just doesn't want to admit it.
And plus is intrigued with the history of Borosu.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rosa was pretty normal up until the moment she met Cassandra, and now she's a mess of a person.
Honestly, this wasn't quite how I thought it was gonna go. Honestly, I wanted to have just her just either mention it like passingly to the guard, saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna need to give you your full name for a report," and just tell the full name, and then she hears it. Like I didn't expect to hear like Solon first, and then I just figured like I wanted just Shadowgrass to just kind of be shot out of nowhere, and then she just.
Oh, you asked her name, and she responded with her name.
I know.
Alright, I'm back.
So I did get to
Welcome
be a little
back.
coy about it, just like throwing that little hint, and then her head just like swerving to look at her. It's like,
That was a shift from normal acting Rosa to complete mess of a person Rosa. Yes.
Alright, but yes, I am returned, so
so we have once again destroyed the DM's plans, and it's only the first.
Can't wait to find the guy I was meant to meet having been robbed and murdered on the side of the road.
yeah. Like, you haven't ruined any of my plans. I have more than enough figured out to just improvise perfectly well, and you're more or less on course. You just skipped an event.
I do know one thing. This introduction is going better than expected.
Yeah, I'm liking
loving
this. I'm liking this.
100% less plagues.
It's a lot more interaction than we did way back in the beginning of campaign 1.
At this point, we've murdered a guy already.
Yeah, which don't get me wrong. As fun as that was, I do appreciate the more getting to know of characters.
Alright, well, regardless, a few minutes later, after you've sort of sat down and paid for the stuff and had your epiphany of, oh shit, which was brilliant, I might add.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah. A couple
Opinions
minutes
of food.
Yeah, a few minutes pass before your meals are brought out. And, let's hear, Rosa, you just get, I'm just going to assume, sort of a salad.
Yep. Wow.
Right. So you get kind of a salad, and remind me, Hades, you wanted Tizona to bring along some sort of dessert with it, right?
Yeah, for Rosa.
And you, I assume, plunked forward some gil to make that happen?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I'll subtract another 5 from the communal gil. And, Rosa, what is your favored dessert?
This is not something I thought of in my backstory.
Just think
Improvise.
Oh God, I don't know.
Pop rocks?
I'm just
Maybe
going.
waffles, ice cream.
I'm just gonna say pretty normal ice cream because milk. Cat.
Why not go with a full-on
Nailed
milkshake
it.
then? All right.
Yes. All right. Milkshake. Sure.
All right. So, and there's a milkshake with your salad.
You didn't have to do that.
Oh, but I did. Tizona gives Cassandra a smile. I was paid to.
Well, thanks
Cassandra
anyway,
just
Tizona.
whistles innocently.
All right. Now let's hear. The rest of you. What are the rest of you getting? Just give me the basics. Rosa got a salad. What is Cassandra getting?
Oh, I'd say probably like a small steak.
A small steak. All right. What about what's Aeon getting?
Oh, I wonder.
Ice cream!
He just wanted ice cream.
just ice cream. Okay. So you have a ton of ice cream.
Yee.
So it's like a sundae. Just there's a bowl of the stuff. Kunara gets a bunch of meat.
What is it?
Meat. Got a bunch of meat. It's like you ordered the most meat-heavy meal they have, and it is just a calorie fiesta of there's a few beef patties, there's some scrambled eggs, a few strips of bacon, and it's all lightly seasoned with some garlic and salts and peppers. There's a couple of decorative little leaves off to the side that I imagine you just kind of flick away, being you're an omnivore, but you lean heavily into the carnivorous side.
Oh no! Pass the extra leaves here.
She doesn't mind. She takes what she gets. As long as it's nice.
Yeah, it tastes good. It's well cooked. It's well prepared. The seasoning
Yeah.
had a sort of an explosion you're not used to.
Speaking of
Which
greenery,
before
you go first. Sorry.
Alright. Which before she dines into it, she sees it all just displaying onto the table. You notice for a brief moment she just could not help draw a bit and just look excited towards it, and then just immediately goes back to calm and
Drool a bit.
Yeah.
A little dribble of saliva out the side of the gels, tail swishing and thumping against your thigh a bit, curled onto the chair as it is.
And then she just basically goes back to her old self and just straightens herself up a bit.
Like, the mask fell off just a bit, and then she immediately just puts it back on.
And what about
Yeah,
Kayana?
pretty
What's Kayana getting?
I don't know why, but I could see her just eating something ramen-like.
Okay, noodle, pasta.
I can see that.
Okay, yeah, ramen.
Yeah.
All right, so okay. I'm sure any weirdos who think they can determine character personalities based entirely off of the meals they have, go nuts.
Also, as a reference, I imagine among us this has like some pickle. She just throws that to Fluffy. After that, she quickly digs into the milkshake, and you swear you hear a small pleased purr.
But so yeah, it is good food.
This wrapped around the meat. What is this exactly? Basically looking, I guess, at out of character, just like the bun part of them. If she's
What?
munching on like a burger or something.
I mean, it wasn't a burger. It was literally
Steak.
just like
Steak.
like meat patties. It was just steak.
Ah, it's okay. Fair enough.
It's cow. It's beef.
Mm.
That's strange good stuff. And
I have to agree.
She just gets a napkin from her she just gets a napkin from her pocket or something. It's like, Aeon, wipe your face. It's you got ice cream everywhere.
Not now.
This place needs to be good. It's kind of part of the whole touristy element, considering its relation to the warriors. You've seen the Shuzitsu.
Yeah, I would imagine they would have been better, but beef, still beef. First time I had beef, really. If it wasn't for all this herbs and spices that I sent, it would have been dried, but instead full of flavor. Actually,
Pretty
pretty
good
tough
luck,
to
yeah.
get through. A
Yeah.
lion food that puts up a fight.
Yeah, point of order, Rosa. You actually you are aware of an individual who does actually have a Shuzitsu in the city.
I will wondering about Shuzitsu was still alive.
It's not the same Shuzitsu. It's a descendant.
Is it likewise sent in the same shop with that family line?
I mean, it's the recreation of that shop. It's in a different part of town now, but it's run by a woman named Kakira. And you have met on a handful of occasions, and you are relatively sure that Fluffy and the Shuzitsu may or may not have a frenemies type relationship. It's hard to tell.
Oh no. Don't let it sneeze. For the love of gods.
One time it sneezed at Fluffy, and Fluffy turned pink for a week. It was a very weird day. Not that Fluffy seemed to mind.
You're pretty just the way you are, Fluffy. Nothing needs to change.
Yes, regardless, if there's any other discussions you wish to have while eating, now's the time. Any other questions or what have you?
Well, she has noticed, which is a bit odd to her, that basically the only thing he ordered was a salad and, well, a strange drink that she's never seen before.
Ah, it's not like this is a special place for me to dine. I live here. I often stop by, just grab something if I'm going to and from. Deliveries of books, sorting things out, or just general adventuring. However,
Fair enough. But I take it you're not much of the meat sort or something?
I eat plenty of meat, thank you very much. Look at these, points to her scissors. I'm a cat. Of course we eat meat.
I mean, she did almost beat you at the strength test, Kupo.
He still needs more muscle strength.
So, like, it is worth noting that at this point, Aeon's entire head has turned a very vibrant shade of pink. You're just like burrowing your face into the ice cream, I assume.
Yes.
So you just see like this chocobo, not this Moogle body, just like sticking out, head buried in the ice cream, little legs kicking about, and inside you just hear.
But I'm.
You are aware that you're getting it more on your fur than in your mouth, right?
I could just go like this, just take my hands and go nom nom nom.
But generally, you won't be surprised to learn that the most common form of meat here is fish.
Really? An island city full of what I believe are a majority of cat people?
Yes, we are.
So yeah, fish. Makes sense.
Fish and crabs. And
Well, this has been a fishing village since before the Great Flood, so...
I never really took an on to, well, creatures of the sea that much, or lakes. I morely hunt bigger prey.
Well, we're islanders, we kind of live here, so we had to make big goes. Though, I mean, I wasn't born here, but I was raised here, so it's kind of all I've known.
But now I'm intrigued. Since you say you're willing to get me anything, looks back, I wish to try this fish, crabs, and lobster and all that.
Assuming we find Outer Shore, I'll get you some. Speaking of, are people finishing up? Because my lifeline is rapidly running short. I mean, I don't have that many lives to spare.
Well, I don't think I could eat anything else besides the plates, and I'd rather not.
Alright. Let's finish up. Say everything's paid for, and let's get everything out. Aeon, get your face out of the bowl.
No. That's Sandra.
Yeah, don't touch me.
She just grabs Aeon and just like starts cleaning him up with a towel that she keeps on her.
Alright.
Yeah, Kaya's already done with her. Just like...
Tizona, we're cleaning up.
Oh, it's very kind of you, thank you.
But you also see Kunara's taking what she had back to the counter, I guess.
And as he's sort of passing by Tizona, she just kind of gives you a more praising little look and a little smirk and a little giggle. Didn't see many of those.
And Kunara's just like awkwardly walking away, just wondering what the heck. She's not used to that. You look.
She's not used to people undressing her with their eyes. Yeah.
Well, it's a better prospect than the dancers. Those people are savage.
So, are all owners of these establishments that?
She's not the owner. She's just a waitress.
Well, are they all like that then?
Only if your barn door goes a certain way.
And then it just hit her.
Perfect reaction. Huh?
Yeah. And then it hits her. The realization that she's had someone eyeing her.
Come on.
Halfway through her hair.
My life is literally on the line. How hard can it be to find a Numo in a city of Mithra?
That Cassandra just grabs Rosa by the shoulders. Now, Rosa, don't worry. Your new big sis, Cassandra, will save you from your evil grounding parents.
It was definitely I know that was in sarcasm, but you just see her light up like Christmas.
This just in, Rosa's a Christmas tree.
Don't forget Big Brother Aeon.
What is it? The lightning? You're exactly glowing right now.
Right. Then as the inaugurating adventure of... We Your name. Us! Let's find this guy before my execution comes.
Your parents are gonna execute you.
Not really.
Figure of speech. Jinx.
All right.
I was gonna say that's a messed up society.
Yeah, Kai is just saying as soon as after she said that, she's like, not really.
All right, so with your tab all paid for and your belly's now full, you acquire Fluffy, and how do you proceed to try and locate Ota Shore?
Well, Rosa will probably be backtracking in the obvious route a cart would take between the docks and the Vermilion pages.
All right. So, with Rosa sort of, I assume, just hopping up on Fluffy and leading the way, or are you just leading by the reins?
Oh, I'll lead by the reins, otherwise I'd leave him in the dust. So.
Right.
So Cassandra just goes, so what are we looking for?
Numo, named Ota Shore, big cart for the books.
Can't really be that hard to spot. And
Cassandra
Cassandra just...
awareness?
Cassandra uses jump to go up on the rooftops.
All right.
Oh,
so Cassandra
cool.
just goes, noink, just lands on someone's rooftop.
You see Rosa stop by the bottom of the building, kind of look at her feet, look up, and just jump and just land, and then keep going.
No, I was probably just sniffing around and also hearing basically awareness. So should I roll?
Yeah. So anyone
Yeah,
who's keeping an eye out for Ota Shore, go ahead and roll me an awareness check.
Okay.
All the awareness.
Ah, but we rolled that. The dice just blew out of the tray.
Please don't talk to us. I was about to say.
Alright.
Don't tell me it just froze. Please don't tell me it froze.
Did it froze?
No!
No!
It didn't froze.
Refresh. Okay, so an 11 from Kayana. I'm assuming that's what that is?
Yep.
Okay.
Or did she said it froze. I think that's from the last one.
Yeah, it froze.
Oh no. F5! I believe that's the refresh button.
Come on.
I mean, why? Because the...
No, I already saw it. It was a 1 and a 3, so just add your awareness.
I'm looking for it. And my awareness is a 3 too.
So 7.
7.
Come on.
All right, Aeon
That's
got
a
an 8. Cassandra got a 12. Rosa got a 10.
Okay, I got it. Thank God.
Okay.
Oh.
As I was saying, I re-rolled a 4, looked at my awareness, 3. Because I had to re-roll it the first time because the other dice flew.
Yeah, I gotcha. So, all right, and 11. Okay.
We say, yeet!
So 11, 10, 12, 8, 7. All right, so everyone else sort of at ground level is kind of having a hard time. You're trying to pierce through the crowds, but as more and more people are arriving in the docks and people are coming out of their homes after breakfast to start joining in the revelry and the fun, the streets are getting increasingly crowded. Cassandra, being the wrinkly brain genius you are, you jump up onto a roof, and that decreased your difficulty target, so you get it just fine. So as you're looking around, sort of peering your eyes over the docks, your eyes eventually land on what is unmistakably a sort of brown-furred Numo man. Looks to be on the younger side for Numo. Sort of dressed in vaguely sort of a greenish, kind of semi-formal sort of researcher's attire almost. Has a sort of a silvery mane going down the back of his head. It looks like he's got a pair of glasses, and next to him is like a wagon with some boxes in the back, and he's sort of standing around, tail thumping against the ground, looking increasingly sort of like concerned or impatient. He occasionally looks at his wrist, looks off towards a nearby clock tower. And like he's got a chocobo of his own, a little white chocobo, but it's currently like sleeping off to one side.
Only Cassandra has seen this, yes?
Yeah, only Cassandra is seeing this.
She calls down to the others below. Hey, I'm in.
Where?
She kind of just follow me and just keeps jumping from
Rosa
her
quickly straightens her outfit to look a bit more presentable.
Okay.
Approach him. We see him.
All right, so you follow Cassandra for a while, and when you come out onto the docks, it takes you a second peering through the crowds, but you eventually spot the pneumo in question sort of off by a little corner next to where the water's sort of lapping gently at the edges of the city. He's kind of looking around anxiously, and he's actually starting to, like, move over towards his chocobo and is, like, patting it on the head to, like, wake it up. It looks like he's getting about ready to start moving himself.
Mr. Shaw?
Oh, there you are. Rosa, was it? Been a long time.
It has. I do apologize for the delay. There was an incident with a mugger.
Oh, are you all right? They didn't take anything from you, did they?
No, we were witnessing to another person being accosted. Fortunately, it's been resolved with the guard. It's all right.
That's good. No damage done then. Here is the shipment. Your family has already taken care of any and all relevant payments. And he sort of pats the side of the wagon. I've unhooked Snow Flurry, so you can hook yourself up and get a move on as soon as you're ready.
Levy. Well, so, these were all outdated tomes, you said?
Yes, older history books, some fiction stories that are a little out of vogue with the current student body, a handful of older magic tomes relating to older forms of magical theory. You'd be surprised how much the libraries back at the Academy City get filtered out when new archmages start taking positions, you know? They tend to completely overhaul the field every time, so these are still good books, but you will find things either more efficient or more advanced in the Academy City. As I said, plenty of other tomes, old atlases, history books, fiction.
I'd love to see it myself. Alas, kept here.
Cassandra just kind of walks up to him and is like, so you work at the Academy City a lot?
I don't work at the Academy City, but I do business runs for them on occasion, delivering cargo here and there and whatnot. I've stayed there on occasion myself, but I'm not a student or an active member of the administrative staff or anything of the sort, if that's what you're asking.
You said there's been a shake-up with the archmages.
Well, just every so often the archmages filter out as they either retire, die of old age, and new ones come and slip in. Shantato stepped down some 10-15 years back, and then Panara Blackstorm came along and took into the position, and the advances black magic has made thanks to her have been remarkable.
Panara Blackstorm?
Yes,
Really?
Yes, she's the new art black mage, and a damn fine one, if I do say so myself.
I imagine so. This has been a day.
Hey,
I'm surprised you didn't know that already. It happened like 10 years ago that she took the position.
You know what my parents are like.
Yes. How are they, by the way? Doing fine, I should hope.
Yeah, they're doing fine. Mum was back at the bookstore doing some keeping. Dad was doing whatever Dad does. All's well. I'm hoping if I can get these back in one piece, and on the worse for wear, that I might be able to attend the festival this time.
Well, then you should probably get a move on. It's almost noon.
Apologies for the wait again.
Oh, it's quite all right. I'm a pneumo. I'm used to just standing around thumping my tail for hours. It's really no big worry. It's good to see you again, young lass.
hey, Mr. Shore, was it?
Yes?
So, do you know a lot of the teachers up at the city?
I'm aware of several by reputation, but my personal relationships with many of them can be best summarized as exchange 2 words with them and then go on my way. Again, I don't work at the Academy City. I just occasionally make shipments for them.
I mean, I get that. I just was wondering if you'd heard of one called Serafina.
I have, yes. I once brought a shipment of updated tomes to her for her classes. She's a professor, I believe.
When's have you seen her recently?
Last time I saw her would have been, I want to say about a year ago? I didn't really get very far past the gates in picking up this deliveries, and she usually works up in the Central University building last I checked, so... Why? Do you know them?
Oh, she's my aunt.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
This is Cassandra Shadowgrasp.
The tail starts going thump, 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 thump. Did you say Shadowgrasp?
I know, right? This has been a day.
It has. Good to meet you. And, Odashor reaches out and, shakes your hand. A pleasure to meet a descendant of a warrior of light. Truly. Oh.
Yeah, not really used to that kind of treatment.
Well, you probably should get used to it. If you're going to be out traveling the world and in places where those legendary heroes left their mark on history, you'd be lucky if you're not swarmed by ardent admirers.
Because I'd like to be given the chance.
All right, well, you should probably get to... Yes?
So if you just run into Serafina up there soon, could you just tell her that Cassandra is doing okay?
Same for Kunara. She's my great grandmother, and didn't know she was there.
I'll be sure to pass along your sentiments. Don't worry.
Tell her that keeping her heirloom handy. Kind of shows off the necklace.
At any rate, you have a delivery to make, and I have a chocobo to feed. And he sort of walks over to his white chocobo Snowflurry and sort of starts patting it on the beak. Come on, Snowflurry, wake up. It's time for greens. Snowflurry starts getting up, shakes a bit. And then gives off a friendly trill off towards Fluffy, who immediately answers it in kind.
Come on, let's get these books back. Cassandra?
Yeah.
Hold this. Shoves the bow into her arms. If anyone asks, that's yours.
Okay. Not really my style, but...
Sandra, can I have it?
No. I mean, it's a bit big for you, Aeon.
I suppose I can hold on to it.
Yeah, and just when we get there, just maybe stand back a bit. Let me do the talking. I don't mention Shadowgrasp. I'd rather you don't get thrown out of the city, like Feast was.
Thrown out of the city? For being a Shadowgrass?
My parents really don't like things that allude to the Warriors of Light and anything to do with the Athils.
So what's their... So why does my grandpa have any problem? Why would they have any problem with him?
Because you've met me. They mean well. I mean, they're my parents. I love them, but they really don't get this whole adventuring thing. They try very hard to keep me away from it, and anything so much as encourages it, they come down on it with a hammer. Frustrating.
Alright. Well,
I'll have to do a lot of sneaking about.
well, let's get you home then.
Fluffy, come on.
Alright, so you get Fluffy hooked up to the wagon. Takes a moment, and then you start making your way back towards the Twin Squares. I assume everyone else is following along?
Yeah.
Alright. It doesn't take you terribly long to make your way back to the Twin Squares, where things are just as loud and boisterous and happy as before. You can see that there are like a couple little areas that have been set aside for just some casual, independent sort of like dances sort of going on. And you can see that the cover game based around Alistair is already in full motion as their mud balls being slung back and forth. It's a sight. But but it doesn't take you long to come up to the Vermilion pages. And it's as you're sort of coming up that, like you're just starting to dismount from Fluffy when the door opens. And a tall individual comes wandering out, sort of you've not seen this individual before. They look to be an outsider, foreigner to the island based on their garb. You can't tell exactly what race they are. They might be Elvon, might be human, might be one of those Dran. Hard to tell. You don't see a tail, though. Their head is obscured by a sort of red hood. They've got like a sort of a black mask over their face. It almost looks like red battle robes over their torso with these sort of sort of cloth flaps that hang down to their ankles. Their arms are covered in these sort of gold-tinted metallic plates, and on this man's hips, you see what looks to be... They almost look like shields with sharpened points. And sort of tucked under one arm, he has a book.
Do I recognize it?
You do. It's a copy of the Chronicles of Eno.
Which does our store have sell copies of the Chronicles of Eno because of things?
It would be a really stupid idea not to, given this place's history. So yes, they do. They just try not to talk about it a whole lot.
Happy, sir?
No, thank you. I've already been helped. He just gives you a little nod and turns to start walking.
History-wise, did those robes mean anything?
Make a lore history check.
And got Fluffy here, so that's 2, 5, 6, 13.
13.
No, sorry, that's nature, sorry. Minus 2, 12, 11 then.
11. You have not seen robes like those before, but just sort of giving them the once-over, you get the impression that they are designed to not just look appealing and presentable, but also be effective in a combat situation. This is someone who's able to fight while looking like this at the same time. It's battle gear, but you've not seen any of the designs or embroideries or anything like that before. It's utterly foreign to you.
He's got some sweet gear.
Interested in the Warriors of Light, whoever he is.
I mean, isn't everybody on this island?
I think so. Most people. Some not so much. Speaking of, looks through the door and knocks.
As you sort of like poke your head through, you see only like 10 feet away, you actually see your dad, Ton Lee, a little ways back to sort of back to the door and looking like he's heading back towards the counter, and the second you sort of knock, he pivots on his foot and turns around to you. Ah, there you are, Rosa. I was wondering where you'd gotten off to.
Sorry, just a slight delay on the way, but we got there.
All right.
All the books are hooked up.
Ah, good. Help me load them up into the back, and I'll get them sorted later.
Who was that just came in?
Dunno, he didn't give me a name, but he was interested in a copy of that book, so helped him get one, and he paid to buy it permanently and then left.
Oh. I'll get these unloaded.
All right.
Is Mum out back?
Yep, out back. Rather than have a bunch of boxes stacked in front, might get nicked. Then he kind of turns and heads back to the Vermilion pages to the back door.
Leave Fluffy around back.
Right,
I assume the others are coming along.
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Right.
What if we can be outside this week?
Alright, so Kunara's hanging back.
Hmm.
Alright. Alright. So you bring the
Probably
wagon.
for the best. If anything's gonna give him the heart attacks, is the big wolf woman with an anime sword.
with fucking Zangetsu, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you head around back, and once you get into into the back, like you can see Tonley there, and you can see Ebony sort of coming out after him a little bit later, like after a couple seconds. They both look up as you're coming around. And how close behind are the rest of you following?
Let's say a good.
Like, are you in visual range?
I say Kunara isn't, mainly because...
Yeah, we know where Kunara is. Kunara's out front, just kind of hanging out by a lamppost. I'm not worried about you right now.
I guess kind of just
more in the
staying
shadows,
back.
but yeah.
I guess just kind of staying back, considering
I think
Rosa kind of asked us to.
All right.
Yeah, Kai's next to Cassandra.
All right. Okay. It doesn't look like either of them notice you as Rosa's bringing the wagon around. Spend the next couple minutes getting boxes unloaded and passed into a little storage overhang. And once those are all squared away, Tonley gives you a nod. All right. There is that. I think we can handle the rest from here.
That means I'm free to go to the festival?
Yes, Rosa, you're free to go out there. Just don't get in any trouble, all right?
Do I ever?
He quirks a brow at you. Do you want me to answer that honestly, or do you want me to tell you a story?
If you told me a story, I'd miss the damn thing.
He ruffles your hair. Sparky little thing. Alright, go on. Your mother and I can handle the rest of this.
Hey, kind of grabs them both, pulls them talk. You know I love you too, right?
Yeah, of course. Love you too, Rosa. You can just be a bit of a pain sometimes.
Well, I didn't get it all from Tales of Adventures.
Yeah. Kinda like he punches you on the arm.
Alright. Let me know if you need anything else.
Will do. Have fun.
Always do.
Alright. And with that, you head back to Fluffy. I assume unhitch Fluffy from the wagon, because you no longer need that.
Yep.
Alright.
Retrieve my bow from Cassandra.
You get your shit, you make your way back to the others.
Right. Obligations to family sorted. Where to now?
Well, there's still more of the festival to try.
Also, there's like a map anywhere, like a You Are Here board.
Fred, not. I'm kind of wanting to shift away from those a little bit on the grounds that they take a lot of effort to create and they take up storage space.
I was talking about in the universe. This is a bit of a touristy spot.
Yeah, okay, yeah. There's a city map right outside the Twin Squares.
Alright, so kind of pops over to the board. Kunara. It's an island map. Over here. Forest.
Okay, so as a quick summary of the general geographical layout of Marasu as an island, it doesn't really have like any large specific designated forests. It has pockets of forestation, clusters of trees that can go around for a while, but it's largely open grassland, some eroded stony foothills that once upon a time had been a mountain range, but were worn down during the chaotic sinking and rising of the island. And there is a very intense swampland on the southwestern shores, and a couple other pockets of a marsh around the shoreline. So there's not like a big central forest or a forest worth marking on the map, but there are pockets of forestation sort of scattered around. They're not really close to the city gates, though, as a lot of that land is reserved for farming.
I imagine you won't go quite as far as the forest, but I wouldn't mind that area just in case. A lot of water sprites and old ruins around there. Again, this area used to be a mountainside, used to have old mines and stuff. That's all largely collapsed since the tide. Also, try to avoid the river. There are a few high snoggins in the area.
Hi, Nogrin.
Big snake things that live in rocks. They hide by the water's edge and can grab you and poison you. It's not fun. So I've heard from the guards. Anyway.
Snakes and
I stay
rock.
away from the water's edge then. I must
Yeah.
admit, these forests are not as depth as I wanted them to be, but they suffice, I guess.
Yeah. Aside from that, just expect wolves, the occasional grunweed, things like that.
I'll also be staying clear of the farmlands. Don't want another incident.
You ate a whole bunch of people's chocobos, didn't you?
Literally puts her hands on the side of Fluffy's head as if to cover her ears. Let's not talk about that in present company.
It was but one, and the owner was very rude. That is all.
You ate... You know, I'm not even gonna touch that.
To die by a warrior is the most honorable death that poor animal would ever hope to achieve.
It was a...
Yeah, Kai's just like, what the hell?
Alien culture, right here, ladies and gents.
I mean, if you were really hungry, I guess, but there's better things to eat.
At least you understand half of it.
Well, you have your forest. Shall we go enjoy the festival?
I think I pass for the night. I had enough of mingling with others.
Just out of character, what time is it?
At this point, it was like fairly early morning when we started. It was like 8 a.m. Your guys' initial meeting and the clash with the. I'd say that like at this point it's about noon, maybe a little after, till like 12:30.
And besides, I wish to avoid more
maybe
of the...
okay. That's not counting like travel time. I'd put us at closer to like 1 o'clock at this point. It's 1 in the afternoon. So you still got a handful of hours before like the closing ceremonies for the night.
Well, where are you going to go then? Because it's still going to be pretty loud and busy no matter where you go. In the city, anyway.
Well, I suppose it is early in the day still. And besides...
Just as a small point of order here, I have noticed that Aeon's gotten real quiet for the last while.
Sorry, I'm just like getting into it. Just everyone's talking about like their like interactions. Sorry.
It's all good.
That's
It's
all
all good.
This is...
It can be great. It can be great fun to just listen, but don't forget you're here too.
Yeah, Kai's
Besides,
at this point.
besides, Kunara, if you're going to be here a while, you might want to actually get to know it a bit. And
Well-
as your local, I'm the best tour guide.
Well, thinking on it, it's still quite early in the day. And I suppose you did treat me to some food, so I guess perhaps...
And wasn't there also the promise of treating her to seafood in exchange for helping find the
Yeah.
Yumu?
But I was just going to bring that up.
And of
And
course, I
plus-
still owe you seafood. And on top of all that, this is the most fun I've had in a while. I'm not letting you all leave me just yet.
I
Aeon,
was going to bring that up,
Papa?
but yeah.
where does the Koopa want to go?
I don't know. I don't know what there is to do. There's so many fun things to do, Koopa.
The archery contest. One of the prizes is lollipops.
Sandra, can I go, please? Koopa.
So long as you don't shoot somebody.
The lollipop is the consolation prize, so she'll get it even if she misses. He misses.
Please, Sandra, Koopa.
All right.
Okay,
Can't
so
say no to the Moogle.
No.
You still owe me seafood, so why not?
So
There's a
Rosa,
stand around here.
is it cheating if I use my spear rather than an arrow?
It's an archery contest. You use a bow and arrow or a crossbow.
And you would know that you are provided with the tool upon arrival. So, like, you are given a weapon. My brain is dying.
Yeah, I think.
Feel your pain.
Crossbow, I imagine.
Yeah, you are given a crossbow to use.
I mean, it's like a rather crappy mock-up of Boltstorm.
It's not necessarily crappy. It's about average quality. It's perfectly functional.
You mentioned bow and arrow.
Question, actually. As a local, do I know what happened to Marisi and Leyland? Out of curiosity.
Like, those two were very important to, like, Neothil and the Warriors of Light, just like friends and characters they cared about. But to the major sort of events that happened with the Warriors of Light and everything after that, they weren't necessarily of any meaningful significance to the grander scale of things. So you would not be aware of any meaningful things that happened to them. You might not even necessarily be aware of them in any great detail, aside from mentionings Alice made in the book. So.
I have to ask you out of character at some point what became politically of Leyland with her Harper. Anyway.
And by the way, can I ask Rosa a question?
Oh. Sorry, what was that?
Alright. You mentioned bow and arrow, correct?
Crossbow.
Oh. Then... is that all you have here?
This is not a bunch of various events earlier, and there's also just general stalls, food stands, including fish. So we'll get some, don't worry.
Fair enough.
Alright, so the group making their way to the archery stand.
Yes.
Okay, so you're coming up, and you can see that there's a sort of a taller Elvon man sort of standing beside it, sort of nodding around, and he smiles at you all as you're approaching. Hi there, hello. It's 1 gil per person for 3 shots.
I'm up.
All right, is Rosa's going first then?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
She's eager for that Boltstorm action.
Okay, so there are 3 targets set up at differing intervals, sort of like each one is sort of further away. So, and this is going to be a case if you need to make accuracy checks. The more of them you hit, the better your prizes will be.
Just using this general same accuracy as if I was using my normal bow.
Yeah, just your base accuracy.
Nine. All
right, you hit the first target just fine. A few onlookers sort of nod appreciatively. Yeah, that was a good shot.
Next up.
Second shot. You had to set that to
10.
This one's a little harder, but you managed to land the shot. Just you hit the second one. You hear some more appreciative. Oh, that was actually a good shot from the crowd. A few gentle golf claps. All right, and Lash.
No. 7.
7. Unfortunately, your arrow goes zipping past the third one, just going wide and hitting a post in the back that it's painted like there's like a wall in the back that's painted to look like a barn.
Trash.
So you hit 2 though, so you get back the coin you spent, and you get a lollipop. All right, Aeon's turn.
Yay, my turn, Koopa.
The Elvon man sort of raises an eyebrow. All right. Haven't seen one of you try to work one of these before, but good luck. And he hands you a crossbow that looks to be about the size for a child.
Moogle with a crossbow. Moogle with a crossbow.
Moogle with a bow. Moogle with a bow. Moogle with a Moogle with a bow. Moogle with a... Anyway. All right.
Oh, dear.
Aeon, accuracy check. Roll.
Okay.
You can do it.
So accuracy, you said?
Yep, your ACC. 2d6, add your ACC. 8.
8.
Surprising a fair few people who are looking on. You hit even the first target. You kind of do a little backflip when you fire off the crossbow, though.
Yay! Good ball.
I have to say, that was impressive.
All right, second shot.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
The bolt goes wide, hits the back wall, and just kind of sort of bounces off, lands on the fence, and falls to the ground at some kid's feet, who looks at it, grins, takes it, and runs.
I'm just waiting for a critical fail and Aeon shoots someone.
I kind of was expecting the same.
Okay, well, either way, you got a third shot.
Yay!
Come on, hun.
Nine. That's just what you need to hit the second target.
Yay!
So you fire off a second shot, your final shot, and you hit the second target right in the center. And you can pure feel like a sort of like conciliatory claps from a few people, like, okay, yeah, that wasn't a bad shot, but you missed that second one, something awful. Either way, you make back the coin, and you are also handed a lollipop.
Lollipop! Sandra, I got one.
Oh my goodness.
Excited a little one, isn't they?
You, Aeon, just be you. Just forever be you.
Yay!
Aeon just gives Rosa a hug.
Thank you, Rosa.
Here you go. Gives her the other lollipop. So,
Yee! Cool. I'm gonna save this one.
And does it just disappear?
Yes, it does. It goes into his fur and just disappears.
how many do you have in there?
Koopa?
Okay, good.
Amazing.
No one questions where he put it.
Nobody knows.
As far as you're concerned, you just watch the chocobo just push the lollipop into his chest for remove his hand, and the lollipop just vanished. Moogle, whatever. Look, I'm used to saying chocobo, all right? I'm used to rocket.
Choka.
Quee?
Yeah, free.
Oh my god.
Anyone else want to go, or are we off to Kunara's fabled fish stand?
Yeah, it kind of just looks at the crossbows and just be like, nah.
Yeah, not my style either.
Yeah, as it is, as you're kind of like looking around, you can feel free to roll an awareness check just to see what other things are currently around.
I think Kiana wanted. I think Kai wanted.
Kiana wanted to try the archery?
Oh.
Okay. You're kind of really far away sounding from your mic, so I missed that.
I don't know why.
Either your mic sensitivity is down or Discord changed your default mic again for some reason. Who knows?
It literally did.
Can you switch it back? Shouldn't be too hard.
Hold on. Let me see if I can, because my fan's on, so I'm trying.
Yeah. Like in your user settings.
Hold on. Give me a minute.
So we've been going for 3 hours and 15 minutes. I am proud of that, even though we started like late.
And no, nothing has exploded yet. What's happening? I am paranoid.
No, my computer went out.
By the way,
I mean, the reason nothing's exploded yet, for one thing, is because nothing has exploded yet, and also partly because you guys keep taking a long time on interactions, and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm. And if you wonder what the roll was, for awareness, I rolled a 9.
Okay.
9.
Oh my god.
All right, we'll get to you in a while, Kunara, but for now we need to get Kiana's microphone sorted.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It was literally fine, just like freaking yesterday.
Yeah, you're in your user settings in Discord, right?
Yes.
Yeah, gear icon, and... Alright.
And there should be in the voice.
It's your, yeah,
Settings.
voice
Yes,
and...
I'm already on it.
It's okay. Your input device is what should be Samsung Go Mic.
Yep.
The thing is that my fan's on, so I can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, well.
Wow.
He's a gust of wind, Koopa.
It's all good.
Room.
Alright, so... Kayana is stepping up to the archery game. So, Kayana, if you would be so kind as to make your accuracy check, please.
Okay. Alright, accuracy, let me look through the damn thing again.
I'll be right back. I'm going to quickly grab myself a drink to keep myself. I'm hydrating.
Ooh, okay.
12. Damn, that's good. So, with practiced ease, you lift up the crossbow, aim down sights. You have to compensate a bit, knowing and sort of like running through the numbers in your head. There would be atmospheric drag that will bring the bolt down. There isn't as much velocity from a drawn strings or released tension as there would be from the sudden release of force from a small explosion in your pistol. And after a couple seconds of lining up the shot, bullseye.
Yeah, Kai's giving a little smirk.
Yeah.
That was amazing, Koopa.
God, number 2.
All right. So time for your second accuracy check as you move on to the second target.
Ooh, oh.
8.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That misses. Just misses. So, you try again, but unfortunately this time you make a slight miscalculation in terms of how much atmospheric drag there might be, and your bolt just goes zoom, right over the top of the target, missing it by a hair's breadth.
Damn it.
All right, time for your third and final shot.
Let it be good, goddammit.
Go, Kai, go. Go, Kai, go, Koopa.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
10. Unfortunately, no, you were still shooting for the second target. So yeah, that hits. You managed to hit the second target again. You managed to land the second hit. So, you get back the coin you spent for the shot, and you get a lollipop.
Yay!
All of us are surprisingly equal in terms of sharpshooting.
I mean, I don't have a gun for nothing.
I don't have the bow for nothing, though I can't say I'm knees equal.
For me, crossbow's like a gun with a trigger.
You all did amazing, Koopa.
All right, now with that, now we can get to Kunara's awareness.
Kunara is in her own world, just staring at things right now.
Yeah, Darkness, you are currently muted.
Darkness went to get
I want
drinks.
to get a freaking drink.
I don't know how long that will take.
We're gonna be here for an hour.
Lord, I'm gonna kill him.
Can I try again, Koopa? I want more lollipops, Koopa.
Oh my god.
Kayana, do you point to Kayana's lollipop?
Yeah, you can have it. How about that one?
Yee, Koopa!
So Aeon now has 3 lollipops, or 1 lollipop in his face and 2 in his little chrono pocket.
No. Koopa!
I'm not much of a sweet person, so I might as well give it to you.
I never did ask. So you all came here for the festival?
Pretty much.
Yeah, my boss gave me a day off.
Well,
Boss, who do you work for?
Well, okay, real quick. It's a quick correction there, Kayana. You paid for passage on the ship by volunteering to help below decks for the voyage. You're not like strictly employed for that guy. You were just doing work for him to get here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's more like volunteering because I wanted to get here, getting away from lots of things that I don't want to talk about.
Uh-huh. So, I mean, do you just adventure around, Cassandra, you and Aeon?
Yeah, pretty much. We've been to a lot of places.
Oh, my God.
Lots of places, Cooper.
Places beyond your wildest dreams.
Tell me so they're not dreams.
Why did I imagine Rosa just grabbing Cassandra by the shoulders?
You're just like the hands just reach out, just oh.
See,
Come on.
patient,
Tell me,
patience,
tell me,
little
tell me,
Rosa.
tell me.
We have a whole festival to enjoy and so many stories to tell.
You're just... Nah, pouts.
Nah.
Patience is a virtue, Rosa, Cooper.
So let me get this straight. Neothil had bois, Rosa has nah.
No, that's not what I was trying to do. She's...
Nah. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right, I'm not.
Must I break out my ancestral words of power?
Oh my.
I've never
Oh,
actually said
Doc.
it before.
Oh, darkness, our old friend.
Babe, if you don't get back, I'll freaking kick your ass.
We'll kick you in the shin again.
We can only bullshit for so long.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I saw something moving.
Hey,
Cooper has returned.
Okay.
we are off to get you fish.
Okay, well, the first things first is I need to address Kunara's awareness check from a minute ago.
Go ahead.
All right, so as your compadres, your little impromptu group of companions are having fun shooting shit, you kind of take a minute and you look around the twin squares of the various activities, and your eyes are eventually drawn towards something that seems slightly aesthetically out of place, sort of tucked away, sort of off to one side, out of the way. This little tent, sort of silvery in color with this sort of dark purple drapes over the entrance, and like a bunch of beads and little colorful, like shiny, like hanging ornaments of stars and moons that sort of faintly tinkle in the breeze, just sort of drawing your attention to it.
She goes to investigate closer.
All right. As you're sort of coming closer, you see someone sort of step out of it and walk away with a sort of a thoughtful, ponderous look on their face as they're walking by. They don't really say anything to you, just sort of sort of shuffle out of the way of the big wolf woman and carry on their way. What you do?
Well, Barry bends down and goes through the tent.
Right. It's like it's tall enough to accommodate a galka, so you don't have to really bend down. So you sort of push.
Well, mainly just at the tip of the blade. Just
Yeah. So you sort of so you kind of kneel down just a little bit and pull your way in, and you are hit with a very intense smell that to your nose is even stronger than it would be for other people. Smell of incense. It's pleasant but intense. The interior is kind of dimly-ish lit. There are some candles and little glass lanterns sort of set up along the floor in a little line towards a lone chair at the sort of back of the tent, where you see a woman sitting there, and is sort of an elderly woman. She has these sort of darkened, scaly horns coming out of the side of her head in place of ears, sort of a patch of scales on her nose and her chin. A little scaly tail sort of curled around her lap. She's wearing these sort of a red silkish robe that has some very interesting like floral patterns in it. Her skin is a sort of a dark, palish blue, And she has these very vibrant sort of amethyst eyes that look at you, and she gives you this warm smile as you enter. And as I said, this is an older woman. Like, if you were to put a guess to her if she were a human, you'd probably say somewhere in like her 70s or 80s. This is an elder. Oh, I've not met one of your kind in my tent before.
Forgive me for intruding, I was just curious.
Oh no, not intruding at all, my dear. Though, tell me, are you aware of where you have found yourself?
In a strange foreign land?
I meant right here, right now, in my tent. I gather that you're not from around here, based purely on your appearance. I was once like you, a stranger in a stranger land. My name is Satanu, and I am a fortune teller.
Fortune teller.
Yes.
So, if I recall, ones who can predict stuff or tell stories or such?
In a manner of speaking, I can interpret the threads of fate that surround individuals, not necessarily to tell them what their future holds, but a direction it might pull them, metaphysically speaking. The inclinations rather than determinations of fate.
Definitely different to what I'm used to.
If you wish to hear yours, I'd be more than happy to oblige. It's why I'm here.
Well, I reckon there's a price, isn't there?
For a fellow outsider? No. To read your threads would be a gift in its own right.
Fair enough. What do I have to do to begin?
Just sit in front of me and let me hold your hands.
She was hesitant at first, but obliged, which...
Alright.
Would she even need also the armor gloves off or not?
Gloves off, preferably. Contact with the skin makes it easier to read the threads.
Sorry.
What just happened?
He removes the right one and just does it.
Okay. Alright. So you take off one of your gloves, and you hold your hand out, and Satanu gently takes your hand in hers, and her hands are warm and and surprisingly smooth for being so wrinkled with age. And as she puts her hands onto yours, she closes her eyes. And a few seconds later, there's a very gentle sort of stirring in the air as whatever magic this woman does begins to do its work. And for a brief moment, you're not sure anything of note is happening. And it is at this point, Darkness, that I would like you to follow me into the Hall of Whispers.
Oh no.
I thought as much. I had a feeling it was going to be that. See you there.
And let me just... There you are. There you are.
Yep, I'm here.
All right. So, as Satanu sort of takes your hand and the winds start kicking softly up, you sort of lets out a soft little hum. Oh my. I sense a pain in your past. Bonds broken. A betrayal of trust and ideal. Ooh. It goes even further back, does it? The wind is picking up around you a little more, sending like some of like the ornamentation sort of jingling slightly. And you feel this sort of weird tingling sensation sort of starting to develop deep within your core. It's very strange. Not uncomfortable, but just weird. Estranged and divided. Seeking what? Ah, unity. Something seeks to come together. After a moment, she sort of gently opens her eyes. I sense your future will be a complicated one. Many threads seem to have entwined themselves with yours. And something old cries for reparations. And will nudge the pieces to achieve it. She gives your hand a gentle pat. And if I feel these threads correctly, there may be pain before the journey is over.
Most of my life has always been pain, mentally and physically.
Yes, I can sense that. But reunion, unification, and restoration, these shall bring the tragedies to a close. Or at least, it will mark the end of these. I cannot tell you how or when. I cannot say what you will face on the way. But that which is broken, it must be mended.
Well, she's doing up a bit, but then trying to hide it. Well, I mean, I'm quite a continent away to achieve a goal like that.
Threads which together are bound tend to pull each other in certain ways. But continue as you have been. Follow the paths that lay themselves before you, and mayhap, at some point, the threads you need to find will reach you. And then all you need to do is reach out and take hold, and not let go. That which is broken will come together. You need but ready to make it happen when the time comes.
It's certainly no easy task.
Things in life that are worth doing rarely are easy. That's why they're so satisfying. I would know that firsthand.
Well, I guess the path always follows us wherever we go. And it will eventually catch up. I will take your kind words and your fortune of such to note. I thank you.
You are welcome. She gives you a warm little smile before leaning back in her chair slightly and closing her eyes.
I shall leave you to carry on the rest of your day.
Take care of yourself. And with that,
Thanks.
I assume you step out of the tent.
Yeah.
All right. And as you step out of the tent, we can go ahead and return to the main chat.
Okie dokie.
And they return.
Yep.
Alright, who died?
I ain't saying nothing.
All right, so to the rest of your perspectives, Kunara kind of disappears from the group for a minute. You look around for a bit after you notice that she's missing, and then you spot her just sort of emerging from a nearby tent, looking a little rattled, but otherwise fine.
Kunara!
Oh my gosh.
What was that about?
I was just looking around, that's all.
Looking around in somebody's tent.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be?
The fact that you
Right.
somehow look pale between your fur?
It's nothing that you lot should worry about.
Alright. Well, how about I cheer you up from whatever mystical experience you just went on with some fish?
Goodbye.
Always wanted to try crab cakes. You think we got any of that?
Well, we'll find out. I think the store was over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm still peckish enough to try it.
Maybe the fish will cheer you up, Cooper.
All right. And so with
By
that...
the way, Kai is next to Aeon.
All right. All right, so with that in mind, you make your way over towards where some of the various fish stands are. My question now, at this point, we've been going for 3.5 hours.
I think this is probably a good stopping point, Tom.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. We managed to get a fair bit of time out of this considering our late start, so...
I was just waiting for something to actually happen to end the cliffhanger, but so no. In terms of major plotline, nothing's happened.
Yeah,
surprised.
like things are taking longer than I was anticipating, simply on the grounds that you guys keep talking.
Well,
Which is not a bad thing at all. I am a fan. It's just that
I
it
don't
means
even know where to go to get things started.
Don't worry,
Just gotta
I'll
go
start.
around
Don't worry,
circles.
I'll start things when it's time. You guys just do your thing. But as it is, my brain is kind of starting to go a little bit. Is kind of why I was figuring now would be a good time to stop. And also, I have other obligations I need to start tending to today. It is 7 o'clock
yeah.
my time, so
Yeah,
It's free for us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me and
but-
Mystic have got something later too.
yeah,
Plus, our British people need to sleep.
yeah. But yeah, as it
then-
is, let's go ahead and do our outro. So. That was session 1 of Final Fantasy Chronicles of Eno 2. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, so much for tuning in to listen to the beginning of this new adventure. We'll see you next time, and until then, keep listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this session.
Goodbye.
Oh, God. My heart.
Right? Aeon is just too goddamn cute.